Yeah, 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 yeah. Shake it, but keep pointing out all the lies. Putting the scripture right in your eyes. The Bible guy, he reads Hebrew and Greek and shows you that your book's not unique. The Bible guy, he turns through the pages until every Christian rages. The Bible guy, watch one time and you're hooked. Now let's watch why the Christians get cooked. The Bible guy.
Howdy, howdy, folks. This is the Bible Guy coming at you live from Northeast Texas. Hey, everyone, make sure you're tapping that screen. Tap that screen like Jonathan wanted to tap King David. Share the live with those you love, with those you hate, with your friends, and with your enemies. Let's get the word out there and have some interesting conversations on this fine Sunday day. I want to hear from everyone. How y'all doing today? Best intro on the internet. Love to hear that. Thank you so much for that. Howdy, partner.
Hi.
Now, I will say this. We do have one little bit of a hiccup today, and that hiccup is, for whatever reason, my social stream dashboard is not working. I've already restarted the computer once to try to fix it. Didn't work. It's a whole new problem, but I will still be reading your super chats today's, everyone. It just, you won't be able to see it on the screen, so I will be reading them, just so you know. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. How are we doing today, Ashlyn?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fan-fucking-tastic. I'm ready for an awesome Sunday show.
It's gonna be lit.
Duncan, the people have a request. Denny, what is the request of the people? We got hemorrhoids in the comment section. Say hi from the UK. Hello, Governor. We demand your stance on pickles. I like pickles. That's my stance on pickles. I like them.
I like pickles too.
Yeah.
Thank you for the gifts.
And Denny, whatever you do, don't shove those pickles up where the sun don't shine. It's not good for you. But pickles as a food condiment, as a food source, very good.
He knows this from experience.
Now, my favorite thing to be pickled is pickles. Everything else I'm not crazy about them being pickled. But Dalton, have you considered Blind Dogma?
Pickled red onion. It's so good.
Never had it. And I'm not a huge fan of onions in the first place.
Well, okay, so first off, then you're not, like, taking cold water and chilling it. It gets rid of that bite.
I don't pickle food. I buy them pre-pickled.
I pickle food.
Yeah, clearly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can make it a little sweeter, too, if you like sweeter pickles. You can make sweeter pickles.
Denny said Lou is going to be so disappointed. Why? Does Lou hate pickles or something? Sorry, Lou. I like me a pickle. When I was a kid, my parents used to work at an auction, and every single Saturday we would be, as kids, we would go to the auction. Tons of people there bidding on different things, and I would always go to the concession stand and get a pickle. So I just got good memories with pickles. Bible Guy After Dark. I know it's kind of getting that vibe a little bit, doesn't it? But my camera right now, this is not, it's crazy how much I've figured out on OBS in the past couple of months. I used to be so shite at this, and then I've figured out quite a bit of stuff. For example, this isn't my regular lighting. Here's a little bit of here, how do I show you guys to take away some of the magic? This is what my lighting actually looks like. It's crazy what you're able to do with filters. And we already got at the top of the hour. Let me check.
At Carlos Valdez, sending 10 The Bible Guy gift memberships. W. Carlos Valdez.
Love to see that right off the bat. Carlos, you are the MVP. Let's see. Oh, did I mess that up? 1 second.
Ty Wolf, you can come up. I know you're a Christian, aren't you? The debate will start as soon as you come the fuck up.
Hell yeah. You heard the woman. Get to it. Come on up. Can you do a hair filter? Hell no. We're all bald
No,
here.
but TikTok, y'all can send the Elvis hair. It's hilarious. I did it the other day.
Oh yeah, you can send the Elvis hair filter now because it won't look so funky because it'll it'll just go right over my bald head. Don't forget, he who slanders the bald prophet, bears will be sent after him. Don't forget it. Yay team. All right. And of course, Ty is not currently in the box. Surprise, surprise. And by surprise, I mean not surprised. Let's see, Video Ninja. Make sure that the Video Ninja is opened up so that everyone on YouTube can also call in at tinyurl.com/the Bible Guy guest. Come on up. Let's have a conversation. I don't bite unless you ask me to.
Also, if I disappear for a second, it's because I'm going to get my package.
I know what that's like. Having to disappear to go grab my package. Yeah. I'm doing it all the time. Yeah. What if
are you wearing pants today?
No, I'm not. Actually,
I knew it.
I'm wearing shorts. So that
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah. What if he's a David and he defeats the bear? I don't. That's a good question. If David makes fun of Elisha and Elisha sends bears after David, can David kill the bears? Who wins? Or even better, Samson. Who wins in a fight? Like magical Elisha with his magical bears or Samson? Who wins that fight? Hell yeah, Brianna. Brianna says, I'm not wearing any pants either. Hell yeah. No pants club.
Yep. Make sure everyone on TikTok to like the live, tap, tap, tap Dalton's bald little head, and to share it out, repost, send to your daily heart me if you can. Do all the things.
John Klein in the comment section asked if I shave down there. That's the second time this week that someone's asked me about whether or not I shave my genitals. The answer is yes, people. I do. Let it be known here from here on out.
If I say go away bald head to someone's genitals, do you think God will sick bears on me?
You take that up with him. You find out for yourself.
Okay, the next time I'm talking to my friend, I'll pull down his pants and say, "Go away, bald head."
Dr. Joe Recovery says, "What a time to join!" I know you really came in at the most opportune time. Let's see. But anyways, let's see. No one in the YouTube chat. I mean, no one in the YouTube call in. No one on the TikTok call in. Is this going to be another day where I have to wait just to get a single Christian to come up here? I don't know. It's Sunday, the Lord's Day. Hopefully, they'll be able to defend their Lord.
Sunday seems to always be slow. Also, hi, Liz.
Howdy, Liz. Sounds itchy if balls. Mine aren't itchy. You must not be doing it right, bud. I hate when I have competing creators I love. Don't you just hate when that happens? There's so many of us and so few hours of the day. But I thoroughly suggest you pick the Bible Guy to watch. That's in my humble opinion. Let's see. what the fuck is wrong with Trump? I mean, honestly, I think whole books have been written on what's wrong with Trump. Whole books. You are number 2 or 3 out of all of them. I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's see. We got anyone lurking? Any Christians lurking in the comment section? Dr. Joe says, "Sure, but I am here for Ashland." Hell yeah.
Aw, honestly, Dr. Joe, that made my day. My week,
have fan-
even.
You have fans.
I love Dr. Joe. I lurk in Dr. Joe's content.
Here. Oh, I've never set a goal before. So, let me see if I can. That makes it sound really bad. Like I don't mean in life. I mean on YouTube. I've never set a goal before. Let's see.
Dalton's never made a goal in his life. He just has goals without making them. I don't know. That was dumb. I'm gonna shut up now.
Nice try, bud. All right, let's see. Let's see. Sinfully for Ashland says Fern Love Bond. Ashland is awesome. I'm here because of this is great content. I'm here for Ashland too. Wait, Ty Wolf says I'm here for Ashland.
Oh
Isn't
gosh.
Ty Wolf the Christian?
Yeah, I'm gonna go and never come back now. Bye, guys.
Your fault, Ty Wolf.
Actually, you know what? Angry Amalekite infant. I'll stay for you.
There we go.
Ty Wolf can't cancel that out. I love
Angry
you too.
Amalekite infant is a wild.
I know.
username. Love that. So perhaps we just need to start the day off with a Bible lesson of some kind. Let's see. Until every Christian rages the Bible guy. Let's see.
Your notes are so much better than mine in the Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, I know.
I just put clip.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I don't get paid for this.
That tells me nothing. I'm like, oh god, now I gotta go watch the whole video again. Add text.
Well, it'll be a refresher, you know?
Oh god. I don't need to be refreshed on this. Anyways, but yeah, if you haven't already, everyone, whenever you aren't watching the live, go ahead and check out the latest video we just dropped, a debate between me and one Aiden Aaron discussing why they believe that the modern state of Israel is proof of the validity of the Bible. Is it a horrible argument? Yes. Should you watch it? Yes, also. What, in your opinion, is the worst argument? Ooh. So I was just thinking about this today. I've been thinking about, should I create like a tier list of like best to worst arguments for the Bible? One of the worst arguments in favor of the Bible is the calendar argument. When Christians say, well, what year is it? And they think that somehow and they think they cook with that. But they don't. Howdy, Liz.
Hola, how's it going, everybody?
Good. So this is just my personal opinion on tier list. We should tier list arguments, not people. There are so many like creator tier list. I don't know. I don't think that that's like good to do. That's just my personal opinion though. But if you like that stuff, I get it. But like tier listing people seems like really, I don't know, gives me the ick.
Now, the question is, what's the best argument for God? That's a hard one because I don't think that any of them are necessarily all that good. I'd have to think about that for a long, hard while because they're all so shite that I'd have to really think hard and long about what would be considered a good argument. Good is very subjective here. I got another super chat.
At Mr. PC Kendall with the $2. Carlos Valdez presents The Bible Guy.
Honestly, Yeah, Carlos is helping out so much on the channel. Let's see. Duncan at night. Hey, we're always Duncan at night. Maybe the best argument for God is gonna be shit. Fine tuning is probably the closest you can get to a good argument. And it's and that is like a bad argument for God.
The good fine tuning arguments require like mathematics and more deep thought. Like the normal ones, like oh, but look at humans, look at the trees. No, obviously, look at the trees.
I think with the background that you have, Dalton, you need to like start doing some like stand-up Bible humor.
With this background.
Start doing some, yeah,
It
you need to
totally-
do some. Yeah, you got to do some like start doing some Bible jokes.
It
Oh.
gives the comedy cellar in New York City background
Exactly.
vibes. Yeah.
That's 100%.
What's the deal with Bible believers? That's my Jerry Seinfeld.
No, I've been to the comedy cellar in New York City. It's totally cool. They always have good people on. But it gives that vibe.
You know who the funniest guy in the Bible was?
The funniest guy in the Bible.
The funniest
Yeah.
God.
Nope. It was
the funniest
Samson.
God.
It was Samson.
Oh,
He brought
Samson
the whole
is the
house.
funniest guy.
He brought the whole house down.
He brought the whole house down.
Yeah, there you go, guys. Let's
I always thought it was funny how he like wielded like the jawbone of an ass.
Yeehaw! Thank you for the cowboy hat. I was just thinking yesterday, I was like, "Ooh, it'd be cool if I spent some time to create like a really cool comic book illustration of Samson, but like more like leaning into the fantasy side of things. It'd be really cool to with him like with a really cool like jawbone, war axes or something like that. Yeah. Samson's story
Yeah,
is
the
stolen from
jawbone
the
is
Greek.
wild. Like how many
Samson's-
jawbones do you think he went through? Like, I mean, you would think that thing would like, because the claim is that he killed like, or unalived like a bunch of like it was like 1,000 people, wasn't it? Like, what was the number that what was his kill count?
Oh, I don't even remember. It was a lot. There's so
It was
there's
a
so
lot, but you would think that like I mean, and even in, like when you're in like hand to hand combat, like even like in Middle Ages, like they would go through shields like crazy, like breaking them. You would think like the jawbone would like shatter after like the first dozen people.
I'd like to imagine
hit
it was
with
a I'd like to imagine it was a magical jawbone, and therefore it magically it's like Dean's it's like the first blade from Supernatural. That's what I like to think.
Oh, so it's like he turned it into this like charged weapon.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's gonna be my version of Samson in my head. I have like a really cool badass version of him. He's very hulking, Herculean. He's got like a lion carcass draped over his shoulder. Something really cool. My headcanon, yes, Aaron. Oh, he had the mark of Cain. That's a really good lore idea. Legit question, is there any humor in the Bible? Like anything intentionally meant to be funny?
I think so. There is. There like God makes fun of like there's a lot of like lines I want to say in like Jeremiah where God is like poking fun at like
Other gods?
the other gods. Yeah.
The one instance I can think of off the top of my head is Elijah saying to the priests of Baal, like, is your God busy relieving himself? And is that why he hasn't-
that's one I was thinking of too. Yep.
Yeah, that one's pretty funny. Sonder Seeker says, Ray Comfort Bananas, tell us you're closeted without actually telling us. Ray Comfort's banana argument is also really funny. Because he says on a video that the banana is so perfectly designed, it fits in your hand so perfectly. It's got a built-in wrapper. Like it's just so, and without realizing, he never realized that humans made the version of the banana we have today.
Right, exactly. It's kind of like the line from Ratatouille with the little chef. He says one can get too familiar with vegetables.
Oh, that's funny. One could get I didn't get that as a kid, but now yeah, I understand. Who's the worst Christian apologist? Oh my. Problem is there are some people out there who we would call apologists, but I don't think they really engage in apologetics. But it's going to be either Ray Comfort or Cliff Connectal.
Cliff, yeah, Cliff,
yeah.
or the who's the guy, Wyatt,
Darth-
the guy that does like all the horrible like archaeology
Oh, Ron Wyatt.
apologetics. Ron Wyatt, yeah.
Darth Dawkins is another really bad one.
Our favorite nurse, Ron Wyatt.
Yeah, favorite nurse. Yeah, these are I would consider to be really bad apologists for sure.
I would even throw in like Ken Ham. Like that's more of like a cult, like the Ken Ham like Answers in Genesis cult.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like they've probably caused the most harm in terms of like brainwashing.
Yeah, Ken Ham and Kent Hovind, those two are the worst, for sure. Without a doubt. Like, I can't believe that as a teenager, I thought that they were actually like the shit. They weren't even the fart. Frank Turek is another bad one, yeah. Darth gives his guests their arguments and then forces them to argue for it. Yeah, that's exactly. He'll whine and complain the entire time while doing it. He's a whiner, 100%. Did you see when Bill Nye went to that fake ark? I did. I watched the debate when I was first deconstructing.
Yeah, I saw the Ken Ham. Like, I love how like in that debate, like his evidence was his like cartoon slideshows that he has for like for his like
Wow.
apologetics. Like that's what he used as like.
Dr. Joe, I'm sorry, I'm like halfway paying attention. Did we address anyone part of the Homeschool Legal Defense Fund? If you want to send me information on that, Dr. Joe, I will definitely put it in the Discord and, spread it around. So if anyone is affected by that or wants to contribute, I don't know what exactly that is, but I would love to learn more.
Jay Ray says Bishop Barron is really good. I wouldn't categorize Bishop Barron as an apologist because he doesn't really engage in like I don't, for when I think of apologist, I mean someone whose basic ministry and job is that they go about trying to convince people of the gospel. And Bishop Barron, he only does that as a side gig at most.
Oh, you just meant it as bad apologist? Because I was like, wow, there are actually people trying to like shut down these organizations. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah. I the thing you just sent me, Ashlyn. Yeah, I got you. Let's see. Still no Christians, and yet
I think I would have rather seen like Neil deGrasse Tyson or like Richard Dawkins debate Ken and Ham instead of Bill Nye.
Bill Nye is a good science communicator, but he's just not a debater. Is the problem, and I would say the same thing about the others. Like you have to be someone who is not just knows the science, but is also a proficient debater because it's a skill. Unpopular opinion: Ken Ham won that debate because he put out too much bullshit too fast. I mean, yeah, when you gish gallop and you just say a bunch of things that you don't get the time, the opposition doesn't get the time to like to interact with, and yeah, it really at the end of the day, rhetoric is the thing that really helps to win debates, sadly.
I think Bill Nye was like thrown off by like him presenting like cartoon strips as his evidence.
He has a cartoon belief. So Genesis, someone in the comments says, can you explain Genesis chapter 19 verse 24? Let's see. Oh yeah. Then the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah sulfur and fire from the Lord out of heaven. This has historically been used, and wrongly so, to support the idea that there are two Yahwehs, or that the Trinity is in the Old Testament. Christians have used this historically to bring out this idea. However, what we can tell from the Hebrew Bible is that this is just an idiomatic way of speaking. We have another example from the Hebrew Bible. I'll actually find it before I say anything further here. Let me take a look for this passage of scripture so I can give it as an example. Here, let me see. That tormented. Let me see if I can find this passage. It's a passage that uses a very similar grammatical. Let's see. No, you don't seem to understand what it is I'm asking for. No. Fix. Is this it? No, that's not it. Genesis 19, verse 24. Y'all are free to make conversation while I'm looking for this.
Anyways, Liz, how's being a woman going?
You know, it's strikes and gutters, ups and downs.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so distracted by his head. It's so bald.
Are you doing the whole like SpongeBob thing?
I know I'm not quite sure what the SpongeBob thing is. Do I?
That's where he's like going. He like I feel like there was like the king of the sea or something like that. Like
Okay, well,
lost his crown, and like he had to put a paper bag over his head, and every time his like paper bag fell off, like everyone in the room would like it like blinded everybody, and everyone would start chanting bald, bald, bald.
oh,
Yeah.
I found the meme. I found it. Yeah, I've been trying to trigger the bears. I might have used an alternate account and came in and all
I
caps.
guess it's not really
scream
surprising to me
bald.
because like being in the army, like just like this, it's just like you'd see dudes like go bald all the time
Okay,
because they
so I
just don't
found
want to
it.
miss like the high and tight standards.
All right, so the passage I was looking for, I couldn't for the life of me remember where I found it, but here it is, on the screen. I need to move that so you can see it. 1 second. There. It's First Kings chapter 8, verse 1. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the leaders of the ancestral houses of the Israelites, before King Solomon in Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is in Zion. Notice it says, then Solomon, and then it says the action that Solomon performed, and that the action was before King Solomon. This is a very similar structure to what we see in Genesis 19, verse 24, where it says, and Yahweh rained down fire from Yahweh out of heaven. It doesn't insinuate that there are two Yahwehs any more than 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 1 insinuates that there are two Solomons. It's just this seems to be a way that the Israelites were willing to speak about actions being performed. Cole Triple H, you were in the waiting box for a second there. You're more than welcome to come up if you have if you want to debate. But until then, we got a guest. God's Sword. God Sword, welcome back to the live. Just so I can get a reminder, you are at least 18-year-old, correct?
Yeah, 33.
And you're a Bible believer?
Of course, brother. The only truth out there.
And what pronouns do you go by?
I don't accept them.
So I'm going to keep asking you until you answer, until you're smart enough or honest enough to answer.
What's the noun?
You're
noun?
Noun? I said not noun, pronoun.
Well, what is the noun that I require the pronoun for?
Do you not know what a pronoun is, God's penis?
Yes, I know what a pronoun is, but I'd like to know clarification about what noun that you're wanting me to refer to the
Person, a
pronoun.
well, we're not talking about a specific, we're talking about a proper noun in place of your name that is in third person. So things like he, him, she, her, they, them, those are what we're asking you for. Do you not go by any of those?
Those aren't normal grammar to be known as identifiers.
No, those
God,
are normal.
God uses pronouns.
Yeah, those are normal. Those are normal pronouns. We know those are normal pronouns. We've used them for we've used them. The Bible. The Bible. Jesus said, "I am."
Genesis is only referring to Adam and Eve.
No.
Are you really going to crash out on the pronoun question? Really? Like, really?
Yeah.
It's every time,
even know what
Liz.
noun
Every
is.
time.
Like God Sword.
And
have
a
a
noun is a
conversation.
person, place, thing, or idea. Okay, that's what a noun is. But we're not asking about nouns. That's a non sequitur. We're asking about pronouns.
Like God Sword,
Like,
you're
if you're
never.
asking
You're
for-
God Sword. God Sword.
No.
God Sword.
I
God
said
Sword.
Mr.
God Sword. God Sword. You're never ever gonna get to spread your bullshit and talk to me unless you can answer this question. You've been up here at least twice now, and every single time I ask you for your pronouns and you refuse to answer and you don't get to talk to me. It's a fool is the person who does the same thing over and over again, expecting something different. You
I'm just
coming
gonna
up
prove
here.
that atheists are dictators, and you're proving
I don't care if you think I'm a
you're
dictator.
fascist and a dictator. Just like
I don't care. I don't care if you think I'm a fascist or a dictator.
stop and share
This is my live.
all of them atheist dictators.
Here, bye. If you walk into someone's house and they tell you, "I don't want you like walking around with shoes in my house," you're more than welcome to either take off your shoes or leave because it's their house. They get to dictate the rules of their house. This channel is my house. You either do what the fuck I say or you fuck right off. Them's the rules.
The rules to my house are no pants.
The rules at my house too.
I had pants on. What are you talking about? It's a new rule.
But yeah, God Sword, you're never ever going to be able to talk to me if you can't answer a simple question like, what are your pronouns? There are tons of Christians who come up here and are able to answer that question easily. For some reason, you're either just too stupid to understand the question or you're too dishonest, or honestly, it's just because you're a fucking homophobe is what it is. So I'll bring you up one more time and I'll ask you the question again, and you can either answer it or you don't get to come back at all today. I don't care how much you sit in the question in the box. So I'll ask you one more time, God Sword. What are your pronouns? You either answer immediately or I drop you immediately.
Not applicable. You backward.
Well, you don't have to come back up today.
Wow.
What an idiot.
Let's just show them like how this works. Lynn, what are your pronouns?
Oh, thank you for asking, Liz. My pronouns are she, her. What about yours?
My pronouns are she, her as well. Dalton,
Yeah.
what are your pronouns?
He, him.
Oh, now we can start talking.
Look at
That's
that.
how simple this can be.
I think God Sword's just a homophobe, and that's why,
Yay!
and a transphobe. That's the only reason he doesn't answer.
Transphobe? You mean?
Yeah, he's a transphobe.
Everybody gets a gold star.
Yeah, the only way, God Sword, that pronouns don't apply to you is if you're not a human being. So if you're telling me you're not a human being, well, I only talk to human beings. We got out to dinner. Out to dinner.
Yo, host, why do you look like the fat version of Anthony Fan?
So you're probably a Christian, I'm guessing, by the way you started coming in here. But that's fine if you want to act like a child and show everyone that you're a dick. I'll ask you the questions anyways. Question number 1, are you at least 18? Probably not, the way you just responded. Are you at least 18 years old?
I am. Yes, sir.
All right, well, act like it. Question number 2, are you a Bible believer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then act like it. Question number 3, how much of the Bible have you read?
All of it.
Question number 4, what pronouns do you prefer to go by?
The
He,
problem
him.
is he is acting like it. Like that is what a Bible believer acts like. They're typically this way.
True. So, out to dinner, he, him. I'm Dalton, the Bible guy. And Jesus was not the Messiah or God. You probably disagree with one or two of those. Why do you disagree?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so fuck. So basically,
If you leave the screen, I won't be able to hear you.
They were just going to come say bad things and then try to leave. They don't actually have an argument, or he. You know you haven't left yet, right? Out.
Out to
Do you
dinner.
not know how to use TikTok?
Here, out to dinner. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer, and then I'll drop you if you don't come back.
No. Just leave him. No.
Oh, he's gone.
I was just gonna say, just let him sit up there until he figures it out.
I think he just left. Yeah, he got shamed for acting like a fool, and then he realized he was a fool, so he had to leave. Oh well. All right, another super chat.
At Mike Bowen with the $4.99. The Creation Museum is a wild experience. Ken Ham has a unique mind, to say the least.
Yeah, he has a unique mind. It's funny that Ken Ham denies like the fossil record, and yet he looks like a Neanderthal and thinks like one.
I pulled
right.
up the guests because they've been going away quick, so I jumped on it.
Stacy, I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions, and then we can get to the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Question number 1, are you at least 18 years old?
Hail Hitler. Hail Hitler. Hail Hitler.
Probably a Christian.
Wow. How's Stacy's mom doing?
That's
I mean,
that
she
mi-
was into
by the way,
P3DO behavior, so
they were probably also a Christian. Like, Christians out there who are watching right now, is this who you want representing you? A bunch of crybaby wine bags and racist pieces of shit? Send your best.
They're doing the Lord's work. They're doing the Lord's work today. And it's Sunday too. Like,
This is true. This is true. Don't insult Neanderthals like that. This is true. That was an insult to Neanderthals, comparing them to Ken Ham. All right. Well, hopefully this next guest won't be a piece of shit. We'll see. If they are, I'll just assume they're a Christian.
Hail
Bug life.
Hitler.
Yeah. Here, go ahead and block them, Ashlyn. I'm gonna keep them muted up. All right. Fantastic. Go fuck yourself. Like, this is the best thing. They know that they cannot prove that Jesus was the Messiah or that he was God. So the best that they can try to do is get my live taken down. It won't fucking work, princess. Yeah. Also, he was a Christian. Or they were the Christian. Who knows? Jesus said to go on TikTok live and spread the racist word. It's looking like that. It's looking like that today. They were the quintessential Christian. I thought you were talking
it's
to
okay.
a guest.
I went on their page and reported them.
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's
That's what
typical. It's typical behavior.
Do not report from here. Click on their profile and do it separately. Just FYI.
Black Hole 99, if you're the same racist piece of shit, you're just going to get blocked immediately. I'll have my hand on the mute button ready to mute you as soon as I hear even the slightest sound of an AI voice.
They are. I've seen this account. Yep.
Yeah, block him.
Wow.
Christian.
Unreal.
That was a Christian.
Unreal.
Guys, just to make sure that that my live doesn't get taken out, I'm just going to do a quick restart. But we're not going anywhere. Fuck them. We are going to stay here and prove that their bullshit is in fact bullshit. So, here we go. I'm going to do a restart. Okay. It's wild. It's such a wild thing. Christians on TikTok, Christians on YouTube, I hope you know these are your representatives today. I've got Christians coming up saying, using the N-word, representing Nazism. Do you want this to be the examples of your community? It's really quite sad. Like, if I were still a Christian, I would be so fucking disappointed in these people.
I'll be back in 1 second.
Yeah. Dalton, if they are followed by 0 and people and have if they are followed by 0 and follow like 3 people, don't bring them up. I think that's probably a good yeehaw. Probably a good idea, honestly. Let's see. Wait till we get to the Catholic Rage Baiters POS. I'd rather have a Catholic Rage Baiter than some racist at POS. Oh, now my camera is acting up. Let's see. Genetically Modified Skeptic has awesome videos about Christianity and white supremacy. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me fix my camera because it's acting up. Oh, no. I don't know how to fix this either. It just kind of goes away on its own. Oh. Poor Duncan. Okay. Let's see.
I mean, this is proof that you're in a simulation. Are you like an NPC or something, Dalton? Or
yeah, that's why I'm so smart. Smarter than all the Christians, because I've got all of this information programmed into my brain.
Might you find, what does it say? Oh, fuck me. 1 second.
All kinds of technical mishaps today. Yeah. Social stream Ninja. Select live source. All right. All right. If might you find it interesting with the $2?
Saying, if anyone, what would they say? If anyone is going to hell, it's the Christians. Yeah.
At least the Christians that we've had come up today. 100%. Ashland, check and see if the guests below have more than have any. Ashland, see if any of the guests that are in my guest box right now have any followers.
A fun guy is probably a troll.
Well, I guess we'll give him a chance and find out. A fun guy. Hopefully you won't be a piece of shit like the last few guests I've had. Hopefully you'll be an actual Christian or act like a real Christian. Oh, they disappeared. So I guess we'll try Washi Voix instead.
They might be one as
Hail
well.
Hitler
Yep.
niggers.
Yeah.
Hitler
Go ahead.
niggers.
Block him. Block him.
Hail Hitler niggers. Hail Hitler niggers.
Go fuck yourself. Like, what the fuck is what is the actual fuck wrong with you people? Were you dropped on your head or something? What makes you think going up as a Christian onto an atheist live and
Your reaction is what's fueling it.
yeah. Yeah, they can just go fuck themselves. I don't give a shit. Report every single one of their lives. If you see someone, yeah, and not just me, and not just you, Ashlyn, all the guests in the comment section right now, if you see this person, click on their live and report the fuck out of them.
Go to their profile. Don't do it here or it'll get our live taken down. You go and you click on their profile and you report them for hate speech.
Yeah. Trolling is a form of evangelism, it would seem. Yep. I agree. What the fuck is wrong with
I
my
mean, they
camera?
don't really have any arguments, so that's usually why. Like, their arguments just suck, so they resort to this.
This whole camera situation is also kind of pissing me off. All right. I guess we'll try again. Maggot for Life 99. Are you a piece of shit person like the last one we just had? Yep. Yeah. I'm going to bring up a guest who actually isn't a piece of shit. Hi, Lathe.
Hi, I'm not a piece of shit. I was going to say, if you would like, I can stay up here when you bring up the next guest, and if they start saying horrible racist slurs, I'll just start talking over them so no one can hear them.
Yeah, 100%.
They're not even, they don't
that.
even have the courage to say it themselves. They're using, like, robots and stuff to say all this stuff.
Extra cowardly. Cowardly.
Yeah.
Cowardice.
Brendan says, why do you keep calling us racist, all Christians? Well, I wonder why.
You want to know the thing? Is that it's clearly that you're doing something that they don't like. And you obviously have good arguments, because if they could, they just come up and defeat you, but they can't. So they have to resort to this type of behavior. And you act like we don't take screenshots and send these out. Whoever this is. I mean, have fun. Yeah. We all have friends that are in IT and can find things.
Yep. Yeah, listen, I'm not usually one for doxing, but MAGA World 66, yeah, I'm automatically blocking you because I know you're a piece of shit already. If I'm not one for doxing, but listen, when it comes to these POSs, I'm not saying go and do it. I'm just not going to say not to go do it.
Well, I already blocked them from the live, so.
Yeah. Shaved the head? Why? Everything okay? Everything is A-okay. I'm not Britney Spears. I don't shave my head just because I'm having a crisis. According to Denmark...
I'm surprised you know that reference.
According to Denmark, says MAGA equals making America go away. By the way, that person was definitely MAGA. Like the fact that it's in two of their profiles tells me that this is probably something that they are like actually like, you know, in favor of. But it's fine. We will, until we get an actual real guest who's not a POS, I'll just fucking teach the Bible and make every atheist on here more equipped to debunk Christianity. 100%.
Hooray, I'll get out my notebook.
Now, let me take a look. What should I what should we cover today? Oh,
I wanted to talk about the Dutch radical historical critical method.
what exactly is this?
That was kind of like something that took off in the like mid 18th century, and it's basically like that generation's Bart Ehrman of like scholarship. Their main
okay.
arguments is that
Yeah, was like the birthplace of like critical historical methodologies.
I just like to point that out, like, because like people saying stuff like this, like Christ before Jesus and Bart Ehrman, like this isn't like a recent development in biblical scholarship. Like people have been saying this for hundreds of years.
Not at all. Yeah, it's been going on for quite some time. We've known this shit. In fact, I think I'm about to share with every single one of you guys is something that most Christians are going to complain against and say, "Well, this is just modern scholarship." But actually, what I'm about to share with you guys goes back as far as I can think to at least the medieval period from Jewish scholars who actually spoke Hebrew. So this isn't like some newfangled modern day BS I'm sharing with you guys. This is going to be some actual scholarship on the Bible. So from ancient scholarship. So let me just pull up my iPad. Let's see. Screen share. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right. So the first word of the Bible is the Hebrew word. Oh, in King James Version Bible, the verse of the Bible gets translated as "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." Complete sentence. All right. Here. Oopsie. That's what I have to do. There we go. Let me get the glove on. Let's see. My writing glove. All right. So, traditional Bible translation will say something to the effect of, "In the beginning," remember this phrase right here, "God created the heavens and the earth." Period. And they treat that as if it is a complete sentence. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But in the sentence. However, the problem with this is that the Hebrew for "in the beginning" isn't actually the word for "in the beginning." So if you wanted to say "in the beginning" in Hebrew, this Jewish scholars have noted, you would find the Hebrew word barishona. Barishona. This would mean "in the beginning," but that's not the Hebrew word that we find here in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Instead, the first word of Genesis is the Hebrew word bereshit. Bereshit. And bereshit actually means "in the beginning of." In the beginning of. So we'll just insert an "of" here. And what do you notice that when you change that one word and you translate it correctly, what happens? "In the beginning of God," and then here it's not created, but rather it's creating. "In the beginning of God creating the heavens and the earth." Wait a minute. That's not a complete sentence, or at least it doesn't sound like a complete sentence. It's an incomplete sentence. In reality, Genesis 1:1 is what we call a temporal clause. It would be better translated as "in the beginning of God creating the heaven and the earth was without form and void." In other words, when God begins his act of creation in the book of Genesis, it's not like there is nothingness and then God starts his act of creation. Rather, when God begins his act of creation, there's already something there, there is going to be the chaotic waters of creation. When God begins the act of creation, there are already three things that exist, being the earth, the waters, and the darkness. These things pre-exist God giving any sort of God acting upon creation whatsoever. Which is why most modern Bible translations, like the New Revised Standard Version or the New Jewish Publication Society translation, translate Genesis 1:1 as when God began to create the heavens and the earth was chaotic wasteland, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit or breath of God hovered over the surface of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So the first thing that God actually does in his act of creation is creating light. Prior to that, these three things already exist, because the Bible doesn't teach creation ex nihilo. Rather, what it's teaching is creation from pre-existent chaotic matter. Genesis is not presenting an all-powerful deity who's creating everything from nothing, but rather that God is taking chaotic and formless matter and he brings order to it. And he brings harmony and like symmetry to creation. That's what Genesis 1:1 is actually like presenting to us. Not creation ex nihilo, but rather just creation from chaotic matter. Which is, by the way, this isn't unique to the Bible. This is something we see throughout the creation myths of the ancient Near East. If you read the Egyptian creation myth and the Enuma Elish, which is the Akkadian/Babylonian creation myth, you will see the same exact motif. There is nothing but the chaotic primeval waters, and then the gods create the universe from those chaotic waters. So, and the Bible is just no different in this instance.
So does that mean that the earth, the waters, and darkness existed at the same time as God?
Yeah,
So all four of those things.
They're all eternal and pre-existent. And Christians during the ante-Nicene Christians also had a huge problem with this, and as a result, that's when they had to start, because if you have all this pre-existent matter, which is like, pre-existing and present there with God, it sort of threatens the idea of monotheism and of God's uniqueness. So that's when they start to develop the doctrine of creation ex nihilo.
This like presents it as like a sandbox, almost like that was like God's sandbox that they were creating.
Yeah. All right. Carl Louise, I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions, and then we can get to the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Carl, are you at least 18 years old? Oh, wait. That was weird. Here, let me try that again. There we go. Give him a second. Carl.
Yeah, I'm 32. How's it going?
All right. Question number 2, Carl, are you a Bible believer?
I'm on the fence.
All right. And how much of the Bible have you read?
I haven't read the whole Bible.
All right. And then final question.
I know Genesis. I know Revelations. I know a bit of the Psalms, but that's about it.
And final question before we move on. What pronouns do you prefer to go by?
He.
All right, Carl. He, him. I'm Dalton, the Bible guy. Today's topic is that Jesus was not the Messiah or God. Prove me wrong. Do you agree with both of those statements or only one of those statements?
I do agree that he was the Messiah, and I do think that he was God in a sense, not in a literal sense, but like in some way.
All right. Why do you believe that?
I believe that he had God moving through him.
Well, is that sufficient to be God?
I mean, it's complicated. You know what I mean? It's
I mean,
complicated,
Christian
especially if you're talking
theology,
about divine being.
Christian theology would say that the Holy Spirit, who they think is also God, moves throughout all believers. So are all believers also God?
I mean, doesn't it say in the Bible that we're like in the image of God?
Yeah, well, that just means that human beings were made to look like Him.
Okay, so you're taking it in a literal sense then.
Yeah, that's how it would have been understood by the authors of the Book of Genesis. Later Jewish and Christian authors would later recontextualize and renegotiate with what the Book of Genesis says in order to make it something lesser, because they became increasingly uncomfortable with the idea that God had a physical form or a body. But yeah,
Like a human figure.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but is it when Jesus be God in a human figure?
No, Jesus was presented in the New Testament as being the Son of God, but not God. He was like an archangelic being who becomes like a human figure.
Okay. That's not really the reason why why I came up on here. I want to ask you like a couple questions, man. Well, it's one question in general. Like what? Okay, well, give me 10 reasons what made you like lose your faith if you had faith in the beginning.
I only got one reason. I learned the Bible, and learning the Bible was sufficient to pull me away from Christianity.
Okay. But like what in the Bible made you like lose your faith and made you a skeptic about it?
The contradictions, the historical and scientific inaccuracies, and the fact that Jesus didn't fulfill prophecy and therefore wasn't the Messiah.
Okay. I mean, they do talk about Jesus in the Old Testament though.
They don't.
Like they do talk about. They don't.
That's all typology.
Where do you think they talk about Jesus in the Old Testament?
I think they talk about him in Psalms or something like that. You probably know more about the Bible than I do.
I would say
I'm
the
pretty sure
Psalms.
There's like
The Psalms are just songs. And most of the 73 of them, at least, are songs about King David. Some of them are about Solomon. Some are about generic ancient Israelite kings. But none of them are about Jesus.
So do you know? You might know about this verse more than I do since you read the whole Bible. So there's this one psalm in particular that's talking about a man being pierced.
Well,
and having
He's talking about like Psalms 22.
yeah, maybe.
The problem is that Psalm 22 doesn't actually say that in the original Hebrew. Psalm 22 verse 16 in your Christian Bible is going to say something to the effect of, enemies surround me, dogs encompass me, they pierced my hands and my feet. But if you go and you look at the original Hebrew, it doesn't use the Hebrew word for. Well, no, it doesn't use the word. That's the problem. Is it doesn't?
It doesn't use the word Dakar, but that's what the word would be.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show you on the screen. If we wanted the, here, let me pull it up on the screen. Boop. So, the Hebrew word for pierce is the word Dakar, spelled Dalet Kof Resh. Dalet Kof Resh, Dakar. But that's not the word that shows up in the book of Psalms chapter 22. Instead, the word that we do find is the word Ka'ari. Ka'ari. And Ka'ari means, Ka here means like or as, and Ari means a lion. Like a lion at my hands and my feet is what the text actually says. David is describing, or rather the psalmist is describing David's enemies as being like lions that are surrounding him, clamoring at him from every corner, pulling at him from his hands and his feet. Even in Christian Bibles, there are other instances where the same word shows up and they translate it correctly as like a lion.
So it's not saying pierce my hands and feet.
No, not in the original Hebrew.
Okay, interesting.
Like I said, these are all typologies that you're gonna like reinterpret and like read into. Like there's a term in theology called eisegesis.
So why?
And a lot of the New Testament authors are guilty of this. They eisegete Jesus, and it's kind of like a fun thing. You can say like, "I see Jesus."
But
Like,
they do talk, don't they? Like talk about the Messiah in the Old Testament though, like
They
prophesying.
they do talk about the
Messiah.
They do talk
Go ahead,
about the
go ahead.
Messiah in the Old Testament. However, the things that they say the Messiah will do, Jesus didn't do. So they say that, for example, during the times of the Messiah, that the temple will be built. It says that that there will be world peace, that the Jewish people will be brought back to the Holy Land, that the Torah would like spread from one end of the earth to the other, and none of those things happened during the time of Jesus.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence, bro. I'm not like I need a really good reason to leave my Christian faith, honestly.
And by the way, Steve Owens in the comment section says mecholala means pierce. It actually means to wound, not to pierce. Mecholala means to pierce. But yeah,
How about the really bad things that your book says about women?
About women.
Yeah.
And does to women.
Like how so?
Do you think that a woman should be forced to marry her rapist?
No.
Well, your God does.
No.
Do you think that women are property?
Nope.
Your God does.
Where does it say that in the Bible? Well, okay, because you got to reference some verses.
Sure. Exodus chapter 20.
17.
Tell me, what do these things?
You'll pull it up.
What, Carl?
You'll
What do
pull it
these
up.
things? Yeah, what do these things have in common? Okay, a house, slaves, and livestock. What do all of these things have in common?
It's property.
Property. I agree. Now, when we read,
And guess who's listed among those things?
What's that? What'd you say?
Who's mentioned above among those things when it's listed as property?
In your 10 Commandments, the 10th commandment specifically, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, wife, male or female, slave, ox, donkey, or anything belonging to him.
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it positions a woman as being one of
This
the
is
many
like one of
pieces
the big
property.
problems. This is one of the problems. This is one of the problems I have with the 10 Commandments being in schools. It's literally listing like women as property,
You guys need
like
to get
in
like,
the classroom. Like that's awful.
I'm not a perfect example of like a Christian like theologist, but like you guys need to get like actual like Bible scholars that
I mean,
Christian.
I went
you're
to
a
school
bit,
for this.
yeah, you're a better
I have a
Christian
degree
than
in this.
you're a better Christian than any of the Christians we've had on our live today.
I just like to keep an open mind, you know what I'm saying?
What
Yeah.
would you think about like the authorship of the New Testament? Like who do you think wrote those? Like the 4 gospels that give you Jesus? Like
There was multiple people that wrote the Bible.
right? I mean there's 66 books with
Yeah.
numerous authors, sure.
Yeah.
But like the 27 books that are in the New Testament, like are you aware of like the authorship problems with any of those? Like we don't know who wrote the gospels, for example.
Yeah, apparently John, Mark, and Luke didn't actually write those books, apparently. But I'm not too sure if that's actually the case, you know?
Precisely. And they also contradict each other a lot.
Yeah. I've seen a video. Ever watched Inspiring Philosophy on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah, he's not
So, like,
he's not very good at what he does. He constantly quotes sources and then ends up actually quoting from sources that disagree with him in the end. Dan McClellan has several videos where he like debunks IP over and over again. It's embarrassing.
Do you
And
believe
Dan-
in the virgin birth?
And Dan McClellan, by the way, is a Christian scholar. You should look up Dan McClellan because he's of your faith and can admit these things about the text.
What was your question?
I said, do you believe in the virgin birth?
I mean, I kind of do feel like if God wants to, you know, do that, then he could, right? All things are possible with God, right?
So he
yes.
chose a 14-year-old?
Was she actually 14 though?
Probably younger.
Probabilistically, yeah.
Probably around 12
Probably,
years
yeah.
old, to be honest, because Jewish girls in first century Palestine would get married off around the age of 12 years old, and Mary was a Jewish girl in first century Palestine, and therefore was probably 12 years old when the Holy Spirit knocked her up.
I mean, it's better than saying she was raped.
Well, I
Sorry
would
if I
say
get
that
you
she
wrong.
was. I would say she was raped.
I don't
Yeah.
think children can consent to getting pregnant in any form or fashion, and we could look at like definitionally why that is true. I would say that like inherently impregnation is a sexual act.
And was Mary really wasn't given an option? Like he didn't, like God didn't, like in that miracle story, like God didn't say like, would you like to have the honor of carrying my kid?
Well, if you
Just
read the
like
Bible, I mean, if you
it
read
was just
that,
like, no, you're gonna. This is happening. Like, good luck.
and I feel like that was something that she was okay with.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it says that in scripture.
Do you
but
think
it's-
children can consent?
No, I'm not saying children can consent, but like when it comes to a divine intervention, then like
So you do think that she couldn't consent, therefore impregnate her was.
but it wasn't a
Was
sexual
rape.
act though. It wasn't a sexual
You
act.
don't
doesn't-
think impregnating someone is inherently sexual, no matter the form?
It was spiritual. It wasn't sexual.
So Carl, let me ask you something. Let's pretend that you could take sperm and put it in a needle and then stick it through my like belly button and inject it into my uterus and it would get me pregnant. Is that a sexual act?
I mean, I didn't force myself on you.
You didn't force.
I
You
don't
didn't
know. I
force
don't
it?
know. I don't know. I didn't force myself on you, so I wouldn't really say it was. I mean, it'd be weird. Don't get me wrong, but like.
But I also
didn't
can't
force-
give.
Go ahead.
You're not.
It's a violation.
Yeah, it's a violation.
Yeah.
And this happened in her sleep. To be clear, like this, like she was sleeping.
And you know what's even weirder? If you're a Trinitarian, that was Jesus.
Yeah.
Do you think it's wrong to have like schmecks with girls like while they're asleep without them like having consent?
I mean, like how God operates goes beyond our human logic, right? So I can't really answer that.
So God is illogical?
No, he's not a human being.
Well, I think
what I
that in everything in the universe,
Here.
as far as we're aware,
Here,
applies
here.
to logic. So you just saying he's outside of logic just tells me that you think God is illogical.
But Carl, can a
he's
12-year-old can a 12-year-old girl consent to being pregnant? Do you think that any 12-year-old girl
no.
has? And so Mary cannot give her consent. God did something to her that she could not consent to.
And this is just one of the problems with the virgin birth. I mean, there's other problems too, like the fact that there's like a 10-year time gap between Matthew and Luke's account of when this event supposedly occurred.
Also, Apostle David in the comment section said, I have 24 hours to repent. Fuck you, no, I won't. And also, just so you understand the severity of what you did, you just called the Holy Spirit a rapist. Yes, and I'll do it again, Apostle David. Anyways,
All right, thanks, guys.
okay, Carl.
That's just like, I'm just bringing up the virgin birth. I mean, because I mean, that's like one of the claims of like the Nicene Creed, correct? Is like, that's it's a part of the Nicene Creed. Like it's part of being like a Christian. You have to like affirm these things.
I would
Carl
know.
got
what-
uncomfortable and left.
The next guest I bring up, we're going to try to stay focused on the topic of whether Jesus was the Messiah or God. Just try to stay on those specific topics because those are the topics for the day. So, DAS,
I feel like that's a
CTF
relevant topic, though. The virgin thing is relevant to that topic.
How old are you?
I'm over 50.
All right. Question number 2: are you a Bible believer?
Not anymore. No.
All right, then I'll skip question 3
But
and go to
I-
question. And go to question
Yeah, go ahead.
4.
I'm sorry.
What pronouns do you prefer to go by?
You can do he, him. That's fine.
All right, DAS, CTS, he, him. I'm Dalton the Bible Guy. What brings you up to the Bible Guy show?
Well, first of all, I wanted to give you compliments. Everything you and Justin are doing, excellent job. Put that out of the side. My point is, I'm just curious where you guys stand. I'm starting to become more of a Jesus mythicist, I think. I'm not saying I'm fully there, but am I wrong?
I wouldn't say you're wrong. I'm on the fence myself. However, there are forms of mythicism that I find a bit too extraordinary to believe, and that would be, for example, any form of mythicism where Jesus is knowingly a fictional character, like the author knows they're fake and is creating him
Right.
whole scratch. I think any kind of mythicism that relies on that is a bit too much of a stretch for me personally. If by mythicism you mean the early apostles perhaps had visions where they saw a celestial being that they would have identified as Jesus, that's more acceptable in my eyes, but I'm on the fence.
Interesting. Yeah, because I guess for all my years of like researching, the reason I came to that is I didn't realize through a particular archaeological historian that I got to speak to, and he brought up a good point with some linguistics that the name Jesus was a pretty common name, and that they found in a lot of records people were named Jesus were also crucified too. So I guess that's the question. I started going, well, gee, then who was the real Jesus that was up there? It's kind of where I'm looking at.
Jesus was one of the most common names in ancient Israel. It basically just means Joshua, so it's the name of a biblical figure. So yeah, tons of Jesuses. There are even multiple Jesuses in the New Testament. Most people aren't aware that Barabbas, who Jesus, in the Passion narrative, Barabbas is also called Jesus Barabbas, as his first name is Jesus. There's Jesus also called Justice, and then there's Jesus Ben Nun. So lots of Jesuses in the New Testament. Very common name in the first century Palestine.
One of my major issues, I think, that when it comes down to arguing whether Jesus existed or not, is that we would have to remain logically consistent. And one of the biggest arguments is there are no contemporary evidence for Jesus' existence.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that also applies to people like Pythagoras, which we relatively we think Pythagoras existed. Although we're uncertain, we don't have any contemporary evidence for him. So that's kind of my big thing, is that I think there is some validity to that argument, is look at other historical figures in which we don't have contemporary evidence for, but we say that more than likely they exist. Did he do all the things? No, but did he exist? I mean, I don't know either.
Yeah.
It's always
go ahead, I'm sorry.
In my opinion, when it comes to the debate scene, it's always just easier for me to just assume a historical Jesus, and in order to have these debates, because regardless of whether or not Jesus exists or not, he wasn't Messiah or God. Arguments can't be made for it, and so I just assume a historical Jesus when I come into these debates.
Yeah, I don't know where to go. I know some people get really touchy on that on even both sides. So I'm kind of like you. I tend to not go there. When people ask me, I usually just say, I don't know. So I'm kind of at that point where but people ask me if I'm a mythicist, and I start scratching my head going, maybe I might be to a point. So that's why I felt like coming on here, because, and listening to all of you, it's good to, you guys have done your research too. And I just kind of wanted to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah.
I would add that the just authorship and dating of the manuscripts is kind of an issue for me. Even early first century sources like Clement, for example, they're the manuscripts that we have are late 5th and 6th century. Those are the earliest manuscripts that we have for them. So even the manuscript evidence that we have for even the earliest church fathers, the copies of their writings are way late in terms of the actual physical manuscripts that we have. And there's also a trend in like the second century of these like edits, and you have there's a lot of shenanigans in the second century with like the early church. That makes you
Right.
kind of like raise your eyebrows, and you're like, wow, and these people were in charge of these manuscripts. Like, fantastic. Yeah, I totally trust them.
Just real
Not.
quick, my quick background, just so you know, I'm not like where you guys probably are at, but I did study to become a Christian pastor, did theology. The reason I didn't go all the way through, my reason of coming out is I was getting horribly disturbed by God's behavior. And I realized I can't defend this. And that was my big problem. That was the crossroad. Then all the contradictions came in next. And I think I just kind of said, yeah, this is not for me. And I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. Hey, well, Das CTCS, thank you for coming up, and you have a wonderful day, bud.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for your time. I appreciate your insight. Anyways, keep up the good work.
Will do.
I would also add like documentary hypothesis and an interpolation hypothesis. A lot of those like thinking in just like schools of theology, it's just those things just cast a huge shadow, and there's teeth. There's lots of teeth in those hypotheses. Like they're not just like
Yeah.
flagrant claims. Like
We have here no name found. I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions. I ask all my guests, irrespective of who they are. So, question number 1: are you at least 18 years old?
No name, no voice. No name, you're on the live.
No name. I'm going to need you to answer in the next 10 seconds, or I'm going to have to drop you and move on to the next guest. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right.
Wait, is that Jag? No, we can't. He can't see you very well. He's on OBS now. He's not. I think that's. Is this Jag?
Oh, fuck. Okay. Hey. Dalton,
Hi.
why are you bald? Why are you bald? Why are you bald?
It's a lot quicker to dry off after a shower, for sure.
That's it?
I mean, I just like it. I do this all the time.
I would totally believe it.
You're
if
not
a guy was
crossing the
serious
Rainbow
about
Bridge,
that.
are you?
Crossing the Rainbow Bridge. I don't know if that means like becoming
You know how pets, like, they go across the Rainbow Bridge?
dying. No, I'm not dying. I'm not dying.
Okay, thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Okay. I thought something was going on. I was like, oh my God, what is happening with my Dalton?
No, I shave my head all the time. I've done this at least 6 times since I was in high school. So I just something I just do. I like to have a clean head. Is all it is. Like a
Clean head.
Well, now I can't tell you, you're funny, I like you. Don't go bald, because, well, at least you're not shining bright like a diamond. So you got that going for you.
Not yet.
not today. Not
it doesn't
today.
really shock me. Like I'm used to being around males that like shave their heads. Like it's just like I was in the military, so it's just to me, it's just like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
When I was a medic, I don't remember that many males doing that.
All
the
I know is
service?
that the last time I saw Dalton,
Except for basic.
it was a little bit longer. Every time I see him, it gets a little bit shorter. So I'm like, wait, is my friend going? Is this how he tells me?
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. But no,
Okay.
I'm one.
I just wanted to ask you why you were bald.
Oh yeah, healthy as a horse. Healthy as a horse.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Have a good day,
All right.
Jag.
Put me down. I'll be listening.
Okay, someone needs to set off the bears. I've been waiting for the bears. We've all been waiting for the bears.
I haven't finished making the animation yet for the bears, so that's gonna.
Okay.
Have to,
Well-
yeah.
Oh
so-
no! Lay the basic training.
No, I got it after, but I heard it and I was like, "Ooh, Ashlyn, that's mean. I like it."
They are magnetized to you. Who's magnetized to me? Or are you telling him?
Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. Elias just decided to come in and he brought me my favorite soda.
All right, I'm gonna read some super chats now.
At Yantu with the $4.99. They call themselves Christians, and then they do all this godless behavior.
Yeah, like I'm always shocked when Christians come up here and they spew racism and bigotry, and like I was never I was never like that as a Christian. Like I thought racism was bad when I was a Christian. So the fact that I keep getting all these racist Christians coming up is a wild work. It's crazy.
But you were a Zionist.
But I was a Zionist for a little while. Not at the end of my Christianity, but when I was younger.
I'm not gonna. There's not a comparison. I don't think it's appropriate to compare those two, but that one's pretty bad.
Yeah. And then we have
at Insiferium with the $5. I don't understand TikTok. Why are you so slow to just drop them?
Mostly because I have to make sure that that they get blocked first. Because if I don't, they'll just keep bothering us. So we keep them up just long enough for us to block them, and then we once they're blocked, they'll just disappear forever into the void. That's why.
Also, I don't know if you know this, Dalton, that's your real name, but the super chats aren't showing up like they usually do.
Yeah, that's because the program isn't working today, so I'm just having to read them off like normal. So that's what we're doing right now. All right, we're gonna bring up next.
Carl. Oh, Carl's in the comments still saying they need more reasons. Be convinced.
Well, Carl, you're always welcome to come up and give me a reason to believe Jesus was Messiah or God. But we have a guest up right now, Tracy. Tracy, I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions, and then we can get into the conversation. Question number 1, Tracy, are you at least 18 years old?
I am Baldy.
Mama, just thing on.
I'm Yantu.
All right. Oh, Yantu. Oh, you're Yantu. Oh.
Yeah. I just wanted to come up and call you Baldy. Get the bears after me.
Yantu, I don't remember if you already told me, who was your favorite doctor?
Oh, Matt Smith, always.
Based. Absolutely. Me too. Absolutely. Love that. Well, I'm so glad I get to hear your voice for the first time, Yantu. And I'll make sure to send the bears for you later when I get them nice and wrangled up.
All right, I'll send you a finger or something that they've gnawed off.
Okay. All right. Okay. Bye.
Thanks.
Lindy says he was without sin. Remember? I don't believe that. Jesus of Nazareth probably committed as many sins as any regular person. But also the Messiah doesn't have to be a sinless individual. Nothing in the Hebrew Bible says Messiah needs to be sinless. So, more super chats.
At Trump bailed, ha ha ha, with the $2. A clean head. I usually go for the balls first.
Well, in this case, I've done both. Yeah, I made sure to cover my bases, quite literally. And I'm gonna bring up request canceled. Did GeForce, did you cancel or did I cancel? I meant to bring you up. Is this the same GeForce who's always commenting in the comment section? But GeForce, if you let me know in the comment section if you meant to request up or if you drop down, because I tried to bring you up.
I think GeForce is a friendly.
Yeah, they are. They comment all the time on the super chats. We love GeForce. So,
At might you find it interesting with the $5? An eternal punishment for finite crime is infinitely unjust.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that when I first started deconstructing the concept of hell, when I went from the belief in hell into the belief of universalism, is because, like, It didn't make any sense. We know in our modern society that we say the punishment should fit the crime. That's what justice demands, that the punishment should fit the crime. And because human beings are finite beings, and therefore we can only commit acts which are finite in nature and not infinite in nature, there is no crime that a human being can commit that is infinite in nature and thus deserving of infinite punishment. But we got a guest up, Trey Apologetics. Trey, I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions, and then we can get into the conversation. So, Trey, question number 1: are you at least 18 years old?
Wait, whoa! I'm 29, but I have a request. You can do your thing. You're the host. That's not a question. Once you're done with your questions, can I give you a question afterwards?
Sure. So, question number 2: are you a Bible believer?
Absolutely, I am.
All right. Question number 3: how much of the Bible have you read?
Enough to know that Jesus is God.
Okay. And then question number 4: what are your pronouns?
I'm a he.
All right, Trey, he, him. I'm Dalton, the Bible guy. What was your question?
So my question is this. Obviously, you believe that Jesus is not God, right?
Right.
Okay. Do you believe that Jesus is begotten?
I believe that's of course, all people are begotten. I'm begotten.
Well, this is be direct.
But begotten of God. But begotten of God is what you mean.
It's just yes or no. Yes or no. It's okay. Do you believe Jesus is begotten?
Yes, all people are begotten.
No, just let's just talk about Jesus here.
Do you mean begotten by God?
He's the begotten Son.
Of God is what you mean. Begotten of God.
Okay, he's the begotten Son.
Okay. Yes.
Of God,
yes.
That's cool. The Father.
Sure.
Okay, God,
yes.
Father, I like that.
Yes,
okay,
he is
can you read?
according to whoa, dude, chill out. Let me answer first. Yes, according to the Bible, Jesus is begotten of God.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So we agree that the Father is God, Jesus is God. Okay, cool. I like that.
No.
So,
we don't agree that Jesus is God. We will agree that.
Oh, okay. Well, you're about to right now.
The Father, dude, you got to stop that. Okay. Anyways, the Father is God in the New Testament. Jesus is begotten of God, but he's not God.
Okay, that's cool. Can you read first? Can you read John chapter 1, verse 18 in Greek? I can just bring it up myself if you want me to.
John 1,
the Greek verse.
John 1, verse 18.
Do you know Greek, Trey?
You about to know?
No, do you know Greek?
Well, in this scripture I do. So let's go ahead. And can you go to the Bible Hub?
Dude, chill. I'm going to read it first in the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition, and then and then we can interrogate it in the Greek. Chill out.
No, it's okay. That's fine.
You've got plenty of time to get your argument out. Just chill out. Okay. No one has ever seen God except for that one time in Exodus 24. It is the only Son, himself God, who is close to the Father's heart, who has made him known. Yeah, Trey, are you familiar with the manuscriptal history of this verse?
I do. So can we keep going with what I was talking about here? Can you read the Greek version, please? Then not run away.
Yeah, which manuscript?
Let's see. Let me see. We got the Perel. Just type in. Just honestly, just go on Google. Just type in John 1:18 in Greek.
I'm looking at the manuscript.
I'm trying to figure out which version this one is.
I'm looking at the manuscripts right now.
I'm trying to see which one this one is here. It's not telling me which one this one is.
Most of them refer to Jesus as being monogenes, of being the only begotten of God.
No, that actually means begotten God. Here, I'll show you. Let me show you guys something. Can I use my screen, please?
Well, just point me to the manuscript and we'll go look at the manuscript.
Yeah, I know. Because I'm being truthfully honest. I'm on the Bible app and it's not showing me which manuscript this is. I still need to figure out that.
You're using Bible Hub is what you're using? Why not just
Absolutely
look at the manuscript?
I am.
Why not just use? You don't use the dictionary on Bible Hub, do you?
Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on.
I'm just checking. You don't.
Come on, bro.
I just gotta check. You don't think Strong's is a. You don't think Strong.
Can you show my screen, please?
Dude, when I ask you a question, I know you're excited to share your bullshit apologetics. I need you to interact with what I'm saying first. When we can get to whatever the hell you want to talk about, you're muted right now. No one can hear you. Now,
Yeah, I wasn't talking. I was just pointing.
No one can see your screen. It's blurry. Do you think that the Strong's Concordance is like a good dictionary? I just need to like test out the waters here.
Yeah, but can we keep this though? Can we stay on pace, please?
We are staying on pace.
No.
I just need to like gauge like how familiar you are with like
You're pivoting.
You're pivoting. No, I'm not pivoting.
You are pivoting.
I'm trying to gauge how well versed you are in scholarship. Like, are you?
I'm trying to do this.
I'll just keep asking you the question until you answer it. That's how this works. This is my house.
Well, you see the answer right here.
So, do you think that the Strong's Concordance is like a good dictionary for Greek? Just checking.
What does that say right here?
That's not an answer to my question. Do you think the Strong's Concordance? Do you think the Strong's Concordance is a good dictionary for telling you the meaning of a word?
Sure is. Yep.
It's not. It's not. So that tells me everything.
You would get laughed out of seminary if you brought that.
What does this say right here?
Yeah, you would get laughed out of seminary if you came there teaching that the strong. You need to stop talking while I'm talking. What
does it say though?
Anyway, so I'll just keep muting you, and then I'll finish what I'm saying until I'm done talking. So if you came to a seminary and you were presenting the idea that, what does the Strong's Concordance say? They would laugh you out of the seminary because the Strong's Concordance isn't really telling you the meaning of the Greek words. It's telling you how those words get translated in the King James Version Bible. Yes, we're looking at the word monogenes, which means begotten. Monogenes theos, meaning begotten of God. We know. Now that we know
that. Where's of?
Well, you are aware that in Greek that of isn't like
the only begotten God.
How? Okay,
are we seriously going to start debating about the indefinite articles?
Yeah. Do you?
Okay. I have a question for you. I have a question for you guys. I have a question. Okay, so you say of. Okay, so this is cool. So is the word God in Hebrew, is it just singular or is it singular and plural?
Here, I'm going to show you something here, bud, because
come on, bro.
No, because you've made a comment now about the word of.
You guys in a weak position right now.
Shut up. I'm just going to keep muting you. That's how this. If you don't engage what I'm trying to show you, you're making yourself look like an idiot. It's really embarrassing. You've made the statement. Well, where's the word of there? Well, here's my question for you. Where is the word of? It says the beginning of the gospel of Jesus. Where's the word of here in the text? In Mark 1:1. Where's the word of?
You just stay with scripture or no?
Yeah, we are staying with scripture. I'm demonstrating that you don't know Greek as well as you're making the claim that you do. So you've complained to me that it doesn't say it doesn't say the begotten.
Right there, buddy.
If you don't stop talking over me and not interacting with what I'm saying, I will just drop you. And then I'll just end up teaching.
Go for it. I'll rate.
And then I'll just end up teaching the.
Okay.
Trey.
Sure. Do what you got to do.
Here, that's fine. I'll just drop you, and then we will continue to teach the class without you being here.
Yeah, go ahead, have fun, and do.
All right. So Trey made the argument, was making the objection that I said in the here. We'll go back to John 1:18, and then we'll go back to Mark 1:1 to show exactly what I'm talking about. Because Trey doesn't actually know anything about the Greek language. He's a pretender. I think we made that very clear in this conversation. So, in the Greek here, the word for ho monogenes theos, this is the begotten of God in Greek. Ho monogenes theos means the begotten of God. Trey's complaint here is that, where's the word of? If it meant to be saying the begotten of God and not the begotten God, shouldn't we see the word of there? Well, that's not how Greek works. It's not how Hebrew works either. You won't see the word of there. Of is just sort of understood to be there implicitly. When we look at Mark chapter 1, verse 1, and we read arche tu Evangelios Jesus, when it says the gospel, beginning of the gospel of Jesus, there is no word of between gospel and Jesus. It's just implied because that's how Greek works. Also, I'm just going to mute you in the comment section since you're going to be a big crybaby. Anyways, now
well, they're just thinking. They're projecting English understanding into the Greek text. Is what's happening here.
Now, Trey, I'll give you the opportunity to come back. But when I correct you on the Greek and you refuse to listen, that's not going to be a productive conversation. When you make a statement like, well, where's the word of? And I go to show you that the word of isn't necessary to be showing up in the Greek. You need to pay attention, bud. Coming to this live with the attitude that you have isn't going to get you any favors. In fact, all it makes you sound like is... That's you, Trey. Whining about the word of because you wouldn't allow us to actually look at the evidence.
But it's not even kind of cute, like a baby is.
Yeah, not even remotely
I think
cute.
a lot of people don't know that like a lot of these like indefinite articles are added into the like English translations. Like the original manuscripts don't have these.
Here, in the comments, Trey apologizes, pretends to know Greek. Acts like baby. All right. I'll remember that. All right, let's see.
They don't even have punctuation. Like, especially like if you look at Paul's letters, like Paul's like the king of run-on sentences. It just goes on and on and on.
Run-on chapters. Jesus, it just keeps going
there's
and
no
going.
punctuation. There's no punctuation in Greek, so
Yeah.
it makes it really difficult. If you've actually like looked at Greek and understood it from the manuscripts. Sorry, I was also fighting with someone about Zionism in the YouTube comment section, so I wasn't paying that much attention. Free fucking Palestine.
Free
Let's
Palestine.
go. And yeah, but like that was one of the things that I figured out was that the Center for New Testament Restoration actually uses the Strong Concordance because I was looking stuff up, and it was what was it? Oh, the passage about where Paul talks about being like my brain isn't working today, homosexual. It actually translates it as that, and I was like, that's not right because that's not like proper. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's using strong. So
Are you talking about the word porneia?
I think it was. I'm not 100% sure. In the Strong's,
My
I
favorite
looked at
Greek
it closer. Porneia, yeah. But yeah, I looked at it closer. I was like, I'd never realized the Center for New Testament Restoration uses Strong's. It's probably because it's just the most accessible. I'm assuming that's why.
Is it using the definition for the Strong's, or is it just using the Strong's like numbering system?
I think that it's using the definitions actually because it translated to some things weird that I'll talk to you about this after and we can go through it because I've just barely scraped the surface on Greek, but I think that it uses.
I see at the bottom. You can click on the number. Yeah, it has Strong's, but also Thayer's Greek lexicon attached to it. So it's both.
Is Thayer's a good one?
Thayer is considered like second best after the BDAG dictionary. So yeah, it's like second best. Never, guys. If you want to know whether or not the individual that you're talking to knows anything about Hebrew or Greek, ask them if they use the Strong's. If they are thinking the Strong's is their go-to dictionary, they probably don't know what they're talking about. James, I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions, and then we can get to the main point of the conversation. Question number 1, James, are you at least 18 years old?
Yes.
Question number 2, are you a Bible believer?
Yes.
Question number 3, how much of the Bible have you read?
Oh, difficult, probably more than 50%, but I'm not certain.
All right, and then final question, what pronouns do you prefer to go by, James?
He, him.
All right, James, he, him. I'm Dalton, the Bible guy. I do not think Jesus was the Messiah or God. Which one of these two did you want to discuss?
I just wanted to clarify your understanding. You're saying the word monogenes. Are you saying that means only one of the same kind?
Only begotten. That he's the only one born from God.
And would you say being born from someone would make you the same kind?
It would make him divine in nature, just not Yahweh. So in the ancient world, in the ancient world, divinity was seen as a sort of spectrum as opposed to a binary. Modern day Christians see divinity as a binary. Either you're divine and therefore you're Yahweh, or you're not divine and you're everything else. But the ancients saw divinity more like a spectrum where the supreme God is at the top of the hierarchy and there are other divinities below him, like archangels, regular angels, spirits. Even kings and prophets are quasi-divine by nature.
But the term monogenes, I mean, it's used 9 times in the Bible. It is used for humans, where humans beget a human or have begotten a human of the same kind. If Jesus is of the divine nature as the Father, I will admit that is not specifically saying that Jesus is God. It's just saying he's of the same kind as the Father. Would you, however, agree that monogenes is never used for an angel or a human, and Jesus being the only begotten of the Father would mean he's the only one that's of the divine kind?
No, because that's not how divinity was understood in the ancient world. It just represents like the unique nature of Jesus' divinity. What the author of John is presenting to us is more akin to what scholars would refer to as emanation theology. So within first century Jewish angelology, there is many angels, but there's one angel who is special above them all, and that is the Logos. And the Logos is seen as an emanation of God. Think, for example, of a mega flame being Yahweh, and an ember that like sort of sparks off from the flame would be the Logos. So the Logos isn't identical to Yahweh. It is separate and subordinate and has a beginning point, but it emanates from Yahweh, is the way that the first century Jews would have understood the Logos.
But if we ignore what they would have understood and just use what the words mean, to say that there is only one begotten of the Father...
Do you not think that when we read books like the Gospel of John, we ought to take into consideration the cultural and historical background of the Gospel of John?
I do, but I think there's some speculation. So, for example, when you say what the Church Fathers believed, you're going to ignore what the Arians believed.
No.
Aren't you?
Oh, no.
But the Arians believed that as being Jesus as being the only one of the divine nature.
No. They thought God was divine. They thought Jesus was also divine.
Yeah, I just said that Jesus was of the divine nature.
Oh yeah, of the divine nature. Arians, not the only one though.
No. The Arians believed that Jesus was the only one that pre-existed creation, and he was of the divine nature, but that he had a beginning, and that beginning was his literal begetting or birth at a point in time from the Father.
Yeah, that's what the original Christians probably would have believed too.
But you were telling me off for saying I'm ignoring what the early Christians believed. But
no, not early Christians or first century Jewish, the Jewish background behind the Gospel of John. When we talk about the Gospel of John, we don't really care what the Church Fathers have to say because they come after the Gospel of John, and sometimes they retroactively read their own like philosophical frameworks back into the Gospel of John. Instead of when we read the Gospel of John, we need to take into consideration first century Jewish writings that are from the same time period and like talk about the same things and take those into consideration when we're reading the Gospel of John, like the works of Philo of Alexandria primarily.
Okay, I understand. But would you accept that even in secular Greek sources, monogenes, and actually every time it refers to a human, always refers to only one of the same kind? So, for example, when it refers to Isaac, the promise was given to Abraham and Sarah. Isaac was the only one with the genetics of Abraham and Sarah, which is why he's the only one that's the monogenes. Whereas if you use the verb geneao, then you would say, well, he geneao 2 sons, but only one of them is monogenes, the only of the same kind as the parents.
Well, yeah, no, it just means that they have a unique relationship to their parents.
But which bit are you saying is the unique bit, the mono or the genes?
Together, it's one word, monogenes.
But
That
it's a
Jesus'
compound word, isn't it?
relationship, yeah, Jesus' relationship to Yahweh is unique among divinities.
Okay, where are you getting the angels are divine according to the Bible?
According to the Bible, I mean, the Bible does use words like Elohim, and which both Jews and Christians interpret to refer to angels in some instances, correct?
Well, it does use that for humans, but all Christians would say humans are not
And
divine.
angels.
So that term is, yeah,
Well,
but Christians.
all
Wait,
Christian,
but that's
all
not
Christian,
referring to-
all modern post-Nicene Christians might say that. If you were to ask an ancient Israelite if the king of Israel was divine, they probably would have said yes. They would have seen because the king of Israel is also begotten of God. They are also quasi-divine.
But they're never referred to as the monogenes of God, though.
Yeah. So
They-
what?
The Bible.
So John has a very particular way of talking about Jesus, but the way that John talks about Jesus isn't the way that, for example, doesn't mean that that's what the author of Matthew would have thought or the author of Luke would have thought. Because the Bible is not univocal. Just because one author refers to Jesus as being monogenes doesn't mean that that's how the authors of other books would have referred to Jesus.
No. Other books in the Bible use the word monogenes. It's not unique to John, and it's used 9 times in the Bible, and every single time it
In
refers
reference to
a
Jesus.
literal.
In reference to
No,
Jesus, I
it's
said.
not always used.
No.
It's not
You need
always
to
used
listen.
for Jesus.
No. You need to listen to what I'm saying. The author of the Gospel of John uses monogenes in reference to describe Jesus. That doesn't mean that other authors of the other Gospels would use monogenes to refer to the way that Jesus is described in relationship to God. That's what I said.
Would you not say that the vast majority of Christians would say that when Isaac is referred to as the monogenes, that is a typology of Jesus, that Jesus is the monogenes of the Father, because there's a typology of the sacrifice of Jesus.
Yes, Christians retroactively read Jesus back into stories in the Old Testament. We don't really care about typology here because you would have to substantiate that Jesus is even the Messiah to begin with before we can even start considering typology as being valid.
Okay, but would you also accept the term Elohim when Jesus says, "Are you not gods?" It's not referring to the nature. It's not referring to our biology.
Yeah, by the time of the 1st century, Jewish people would have chosen the word. Well, he would use in Gospel of John, theos. Jewish people recontextualize Psalm 82 to refer to human entities, although in its original context it refers to other gods. But we do see instances where angels in the Old Testament are referred to as Elohim, at least according to later Jewish and Christian interpretation, because they're divine.
I'm confused on why James thinks that God having one son elucidates to the fact that he would be God. I don't understand where.
I don't believe he's God. I believe he's the nature of God, so he's divine, because that's what the text says.
Yes, we also
then we agree with that.
Yeah, because Jesus was by nature divine. He just wasn't Yahweh. I agree with that.
Yeah, but the difference is, I would say the Bible is clear that Jesus is the only, apart from God, the only being that is divine.
Well, yes, the Gospel of John says that he's only begotten of God. But no, he's not the only one who's divine. Angels are divine by nature. Words like Elohim become abstracted. This is just basic Hebrew grammar. Words like Elohim become abstracted to refer to the concept of deity and not just deities in and of themselves. Are you aware of the way that plurals become abstracted in grammar, in Hebrew grammar?
I don't know that specific term. No.
No. Okay. So, you have words in Hebrew, like let's take for example the word behemah, which means beast, the plural of which is behemoth. Now the term also becomes abstracted so that behemoth refers not to beast plural but to beastliness. So it doesn't just represent the idea of a concrete plural, but also represents the abstract concept of beastliness. And then if you have an entity that perfectly encapsulates what it means to be a beast, then you call that singular entity behemoth. Same thing goes with the term Elohim. Elohim in its simple term means gods, plural, but it becomes abstracted to refer to the concept of godliness or deity or godhood, and then it gets attributed to the God of Israel. But Elohim can refer not only to gods as like an entity, but as God, as godhood or deity, as a concept, as a nature framework.
Yeah, okay. I mean, there's different uses of the word. I would say whenever humans or angels are referred to as God, it's not referring to their biology, their nature, or their species.
Those words don't mean anything to the original Greek authors of the New Testament or from first century Judaism. Like, we have works from, for example, Philo of Alexandria, who I've already brought up in this conversation. He writes about the Logos, the same entity that John writes about. Says that he is the firstborn of God, that he is the high priest, the image of God, but that he's not uncreated like Yahweh, but he is called Deuteros Theos, the second God. This is the framework from which the author of John is pulling from.
So I would say also in John, when Jesus said, Jesus said in John 10:36, do you say of him whom the Father has consecrated and said the words, sent into the world, you are blaspheming because I said I am the Son of God. They all called themselves the sons of God, didn't they? So why would he say that you're blaspheming for saying that he's the Son of God?
I didn't understand your question.
So all of the Pharisees called themselves sons of God. Jesus said, I am the Son of God. And then in John 10:36, he says, you accuse me of blaspheming because I said I am the Son of God. But they all called themselves sons of God.
Yeah, it's a nonsense passage because it probably never really happened. But yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
If we just take the Bible as true, just for the sake of argument, it does refer to God refers.
We don't do that here.
No, just for the sake of.
We don't do that.
So how? Okay, can I just speak anyway? God can refer to nature. So if Jesus says, "I am the Son of God," and they take that literally, you are literally born of the Father.
So
then
was
you're
the
literally
so was Philos's Logos angel. It was also born of God.
No. I understand, but there are metaphorical. So, for example, we are genealed by the scriptures according to the Bible. In other words, we're begotten by the scriptures. That's metaphorical. So it depends whether you take the metaphorical begetting or the literal
Logos.
begetting.
No, the Logos is literally begotten by God, according to Philo's theology.
I understand that. But what I'm trying to explain is that you can be a literal son of God, which is what they understood Jesus as saying, or you can be a metaphorical son of God. The Pharisees saw themselves as a metaphorical son of God. When Jesus said, I am the Son of God, they said he was blaspheming for saying that because he was saying he's the literal Son of God, which is why they said, you make yourself equal to God. That's making. They didn't say you make yourself God.
Even though Jesus himself explicitly said that he's not equal to God, but you know.
I understand, but they're talking about nature in that passage. They're saying you're making yourself of the same nature as God.
Yes, the Pharisees say lots of silly things in the Gospels because it's not the real words of actual Pharisees, because no Pharisee would actually say such silly things. Yes,
but they would
it's silly.
If they thought that Jesus was saying he's the literal Son of God, then
there's nothing blasphemous about that. There's nothing blasphemous about that in Judaism.
No, if you say it literally, it is, because then you're divine.
No, it's not.
If you're a literal Son of God,
there's nothing blasphemous about claiming that a person is divine. Jewish people make that claim about Enoch. Enoch is divine. He gets exalted to become to the status of the Metatron, which is an angel. He's divine as a result. He's even called the lesser Yahweh, and that's not considered blasphemous by Jewish people.
You're making the assumption that the Bible says that angels are divine. It is not referring to angels as being divine.
I'm not making that assumption. According to your own Bible, here, finish this sentence for me. What is the man that you are mindful of him, or the son of man that you consider him? You made him a little bit lower than the
angels, yeah.
What is the Hebrew?
So what? I don't know the Hebrew.
Elohim. They're called Elohim.
Yeah, Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily refer to nature. They
Well, it
are
does.
representatives of God, and God is
Elohim in biblical Hebrew refers to the nature of being either gods or having, or if you abstract the word, to having the being deity in some manner. This is your biggest. This is your biggest. This is your biggest. This is your biggest stumble. You just don't understand that the way deity was seen by first century Jews. And
no, because it says he said to Moses, "I will send you to Pharaoh and make you as God." It's not, and he uses the word Elohim.
Yes, there
that
it
means
uses
as a representative
there it uses the Hebrew kaf, meaning like or as, but it doesn't say the angels are ka Elohim. It says they are Elohim.
But they are representatives of the Father. They're representatives of God.
Yeah,
if
guess
you
what?
work for a
Baal
company,
and Mo and Kamash are also representatives of El. They're still gods. They're still deity.
If you're making the assumption that's referring to deity. If you are the representatives of God,
I'm not making that assumption. This is what the scholarship tells us. Read books like, for example, A Reassessment of Biblical Elohim by Joel Burnett, or Yahweh's Divine Images by Dr. Dan McClellan. This is not an assumption I'm making. This is what the scholarship tells us, that deity isn't a binary in the ancient world. It is a spectrum. Not more than just God is seen as divine amongst the Hebrews and amongst the later Jews.
So do you have ancient sources, do you have first century sources that say that the Christians believed that the angels were divine?
Well, if we're going off of what the Christians believed in the first century, we're going to have to go to like Jewish writings in the first century. Would you agree that if we're going to talk about the New Testament, we need to take into consideration the cultural and historical background of these works?
I accept that, yeah.
All right.
So
we don't have,
and
also when it comes to Christian works, few and far between in the first century. So if we want to know what Christians believed in the first century, we got to go to the Jewish background to know what they believed, right?
Okay.
Are angels ever referred to as being divine in Jewish first century works?
I don't know. You'd have to tell me. Do they believe that the angels were divine?
I've already gave you an example. The Logos, who is called an angel by Philo of Alexandria, is also called the Deuteros Theos. What does that mean?
Explain to me. So did he believe that the angels were divine in nature?
What does Deuteros Theos mean?
I mean, Theos is God. I don't know what Deuteros means.
Second.
Okay, and what does he mean by that?
And what does, exactly. What does Philo mean by calling the Logos the second Theos? Does he mean, is Philos a polytheist? Or is it that Philo, as being a first century Jew, understands that Theos is a word that not only refers to to identity, but also to the quality of a thing? The way that Theos is used in the third clause of John 1:1, it's qualitative. It's not indicative of identity.
Okay. So if he's calling the Logos, which is Jesus, the second Theos, the second God, then he could be referring to Jesus as the second divine being, which I agree with. But where does he say that the angels are divine?
Well, because he also identifies the Logos as an angel. If the Logos is an angel and the Logos is divine, then therefore angels are divine.
No, angel means messenger. I believe Jesus is a messenger, so
messenger,
I would call him an angel as well.
Messenger is a function. It doesn't tell you about ontology. Ontologically speaking, they are divine beings that do the act of being messengers.
No. You have jumped from one thing to another. He believed that Jesus was an angel. Wait, let me speak. He believed Jesus was an angel, which I agree with as well. He believed Jesus was a divine, which I agree with as well. Where does he say all of the other angels are divine?
What is the because angel isn't malach doesn't describe ontology. It's a function. It's what they do. It's not what they are. What they are Elohim.
That's not, you have not proven that he thought that all angels were divine. He said the Logos was divine, which is Jesus. Where does he?
The Logos is an angel. The Logos is divine. Angel is divine. How else would you what word would you use to describe the ontology of angel? Do it. Show me.
Angels who are created beings.
Uh-huh. So is the Logos.
Yeah. No, the Logos is not a created being. He's a begotten being.
Yes, it is. Well, begotten is another word for being born, being created.
That is not biblical at all.
Philo of Alexandria explicitly says that the Logos is not uncreated like the supreme God.
The Bible states there is a difference between creation and begetting. Creation, it says in the Bible, he finished his works of creation on the 6th day. After that is begetting.
Why are we talking about Genesis right now?
Because you said that creation and begetting is the same thing. It's not. Jesus is not created.
When Jesus was begotten, this was God creating him. He was the very first thing that God created.
That is
the firstborn
not how the
of
Bible
God's creation.
defines.
Yes, that's how Judaism in the first century defines this nature of the Logos. If I'm going to be reading the Gospel of John, and John uses all the same language to describe Jesus that Philo uses for the Logos, I'm going to assume, as most scholars do, that either the author of John is pulling directly from Philo's theology, or Philo and John are pulling from the same source of theology.
According to the Bible, humans are both begotten
It's not
and
univocal,
created.
James. The writers of Genesis and the writers of John are not talking about the same things. We shouldn't assume univocality, James. That is what he's trying to tell you, but you're too dense to get it.
That's your other problem, is that you assume univocality of the Bible. We don't start with that assumption. Just because one author believes something about Jesus or even about the very nature of God doesn't mean that other authors feel the same way about Jesus or God. The Old Testament can't even agree on the nature of God.
I believe the Bible is inspired, so I believe that each writer is
demonstrate it. Demonstrate the Bible is inspired then. Because we don't start with that assumption here in this channel. We treat the Bible the way we treat every other ancient Near Eastern work. When the Bible consistently contains contradictions, the scientific and historical errors, and Jesus doesn't fulfill prophecy, I have zero reason to believe the Bible is inspired.
Well, I thought the point of the live was the things at the back to prove whether the Bible says Jesus is God and whether the Bible says he's the Messiah. But now we have to argue about whether the Bible's inspired.
But James, why would you assume that we're going to start to think that it's inspired if we're atheists? Like, why would we start with that assumption?
When I say that Jesus was not the Messiah, of course the New Testament makes that point. They think that he's the Messiah in the New Testament. When I say Jesus is not the Messiah, I mean that if we go back to the Hebrew Bible and look at the original passages, in their original context, they have nothing to do with Jesus. They're either mistranslated or taken out of context and have nothing to do with the Messiah, or Jesus didn't fulfill them. And when I say that Jesus wasn't God, I mean that the authors of the New Testament never present Jesus as being ontologically identical with Yahweh, only as a subordinate divine being.
I agree he is a divine being.
And do you agree that he's subordinate to God?
Yes, I do agree with that. The Father is greater in that he was first, but he gave the authority to the Son.
What does that mean?
First in existence. In existence. The Father has always existed.
There was a time when the Father existed, but the Son didn't exist. So the Son was created. Thank you.
No, because that is not the start of your existence is not always creation.
Yes, it is.
Creation.
Yes, it is.
Not in the Bible. Not the Bible's definition.
Prior to an object being created, it doesn't fucking exist.
In our understanding, but not in the biblical understanding of creation.
I don't think you understand the biblical concept of creation. Okay, let's test your knowledge on the biblical concept of creation. Does the Bible teach creation ex nihilo?
Adam was a creation ex nihilo, yes.
No, he wasn't.
So he was created out of, he's saying the dust of the earth. Is that what you're saying? So there was something, but the dust of the earth was created. Whereas Jesus came from material that was not created.
Where was Jesus? Where was the dust of the earth created from nothing? I don't remember reading that.
God created the world, didn't he?
Not from nothing. It was already there. there were three things that already existed when God began his act of creation.
Either way,
being the earth. I'm not done talking. The earth, the darkness, and the waters. All of these things already existed before God ever began his act of creation. There's nothing that existed ex nihilo in the book of Genesis. So you talk to me about how you are understanding creation from a biblical perspective. You don't. You simply don't.
No.
You have a later Christian recontextualization.
You came up with the term creation ex nihilo. I did not.
I didn't come up with that. Your church fathers came up with that. I didn't come up with that. I wanted to test.
Church fathers.
Do you believe the Bible teaches creation ex nihilo?
The Bible. Well, if you're gonna, it depends how you're going to define ex nihilo. Out of nothing.
Out of nothingness. Nothing exists as a no thing.
I do not believe that is what it's referring to when it talks about creation, because every time it talks about creation, it is from something without biological information becoming biological. So genes being formed, for example. So Eve was not created from Adam. It doesn't use the word created.
Wait. Is the rakia biological?
The ruach, you mean?
No, the rakia, the expanse, the dome. The dome above the flat earth, is that biological?
No, because there's no information there. There's no genes there.
Okay,
there's
so
no
not
DNA
everything.
there.
So not everything created is biological.
It doesn't have biological information, does it? It's randomness.
Well, no, it's not random. Not after God creates the rakia. It's actually ordered.
It's not information that can reproduce or has any function.
So what?
Okay, they're molecules.
So what? You need to stop talking about molecules and information. That's not in the Bible. Stop retroactively inserting your modern science into the Bible. The Bible depicts God as creating the world from a from chaos, and then he simply structures and reorders that existing chaos to create the world.
Exactly. Order.
So
information.
Let's stop. And also, Jesus, if you make the claim that Jesus at one point did not exist, and then he existed, God created him. That's what that means. Yes.
No. So let's look at every time it says creation. So Adam was created.
No, I'm done with you. Makes the claim that Jesus didn't exist, and then he did. Also claims Jesus wasn't created. What a dunderhead. Here, I'm gonna.
Jesus a fart?
All I gotta
I'm
say
convinced
is I don't
it's
like
that.
monogamous like on my sandwiches.
Jesus was.
I'm convinced he was a fart because my farts aren't created by me. I'm a woman. We don't fart, but yet like I do have a fart, so that's the same logic.
I'm gonna put here. Jesus came into being, yet somehow not created? ? All right.
Yeah, I was having trouble following what they were asking.
Yeah, I know. They don't think they understood what they were asking. Joan says, you didn't like that he was putting up a good argument? No, he wasn't putting up a good argument. He was repeating the same thing over and over again, even though I kept giving him evidence to the contrary. That's not putting up a good argument. All right. Let's see. Do I have any super chats? And if so, I'm going to read those, and then we'll bring up the next guest. All right. Yes, we have some super chats.
At GeForce with the $5.72. So, that was a butt dial. Whoopsies. Sorry, friend. Love you lots.
Hey, no problem there, GeForce. Glad that you were in my box for a second. Glad to have you up there for a moment. And love you too, bud.
At J Chilton with the $5. Just send in the $5. Thank you for your contribution. And at Kelly Share with the $1.99. Appreciate this very much.
Well, I appreciate you very much as well, Kelly. Thank you for your contribution to the Bible Guy Show. All right. We're going to bring up KTM is King. KTM, I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions, and then we can get into the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Question number 1, are you at least 18 years old?
I sure am.
What was that?
I sure am. Sorry, I sure am. Yes.
All right. Question number 2: are you a Bible believer?
Yes, I am.
Question number 3: how much of the Bible have you read?
I mean, not all of it. A little irresponsible, but life. Life is what it is.
All right. And question number 4: what pronouns do you go by?
He, him. I don't know why people have trouble with that one.
Yeah, I know, right? KTM, he, him. I'm Dalton, the Bible Guy. What brings you up to the Bible Guy show? Do you disagree with one or both of the premises of the statement?
I mean, no, not specifically those statements. I just don't understand how you're not a believer. If you haven't, have you looked at the trees?
Oh, okay, I see. No, yeah, I looked at the trees and I'm a firm believer in evolution as a result.
Oh, well, I'm a little upset that you didn't refer to me as KTM as king, but I was bored and I thought that'd be a funny thing. So have a good night.
Okay, KTM, you have a good night. I mean, hey, they answered the pronoun question too easily. It should have been a red flag for me that they were not a believer.
Yeah. I know. Right when I heard that, I was like, wait, what? I was like,
It's
this
like
is
it's
either
going
going to
too
be
easy.
the best conversation that we've had with a Christian ever, or this isn't a Christian. Also, Dalton, I can't believe you haven't considered the trees.
That's the thing, I have. They just make me more of an atheist.
No. You haven't actually considered them then.
But did you really?
I considered them rings. I've looked at more tree rings and butthole rings, so, But anyways, Hutu.
I don't know whether that's a lot or not. I need more details.
Actually, you know what? I don't think that's true. I think the opposite is true. But Hutu, I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions, and then we can get to the point to the conversation. Question number 1, Hutu, are you at least 18 years old?
Yes.
Question number 2, are you a Bible believer?
Yes.
Question number 3, how much of the Bible have you read?
Dalton, Hutu's been on here before. You do know that,
I know.
right? Okay, just.
How much of the Bible have you read?
Quite a
All right.
bit, but probably not all of it.
And then question number 4, what pronouns do you go by?
I'm a male, so I'm a man, so he, him.
Well, you got there eventually. I didn't ask about your sex or your gender, though, so nice to know. Anyways, Hutu, he, him.
If your dick is what makes you a man, then I was your dad last night.
But Hutu, I don't think Jesus was the Messiah or God. Do you have any good reason for me to think so?
For you to think so?
Yeah, because that's the whole point, is about proving the Bible guy that Jesus was either Messiah or God.
Yeah, well, I guess my reason for you to believe so would be because it's good to believe the truth.
Well, demonstrate that it's the truth and I'll believe it.
Oh yeah, well everything God says is true and it's God's word. So John 1 is God's word.
Bible,
Jesus is God.
First John 1:1 doesn't demonstrate Jesus as God, and also the Bible isn't God's word. You'd have to demonstrate the Bible is God's word if you want to rest your whole position on that.
Well, couple things.
Preliminarily, let me just say, I would like you for the rest of this argument of this debate if you don't be intellectually lazy and actually give me something to work with here. So why should I think Jesus is God or the Messiah?
Well, the first thing you said that was wrong is that John 1 doesn't say Jesus is God. It clearly does.
Clearly doesn't if you know Greek.
The word was God.
The word was divine. The word was divine. The second instance of theos in John 1:1 in the third clause is not indicative of identity, it's indicative of quality. It lacks the definite article, is meant to indicate that this is the quality of the word, that the word is divine, in the same way that Philo refers to the word as being theos.
Yeah, that's totally fine. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah, not God, just divine. There's a difference.
Wait, you're saying Jesus being divine was a problem?
No, Jesus.
Or the word doesn't mean Jesus.
No, that the word here, the word is Jesus in the book of John. The word is divine. Right. The word is not Yahweh.
What? Say it again.
In the Gospel of John, the Word is Jesus. Okay.
True.
The Word is divine.
True.
The Word is not Yahweh.
Incorrect.
All right. Give me a good reason to think he's Yahweh.
Because Yahweh is God and Jesus is God.
Well, Jesus is divine, but he's not God. Again, the Greek word theos
He is
here is
God.
indicative of quality,
You said it-
not identity.
Wait, you said it yourself. Jesus is the Word and the Word is God.
No,
So
the word
why
is
did you
divine.
then-
No. The word is divine. The proper translation of John 1:1 should be, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the God, and the Word was divine.
You realize one of the definitions of divine is a God.
A God, like angels are also called theos. Humans can be called theos. Being divine isn't the same as being God. Jesus Christ, it's like you weren't even listening to the last conversation. Divinity, you
I
see
wasn't.
divinity,
I
you
wasn't
see
listening to the last conversation. We'll finish.
you see divinity as a binary, as in either you are divine and therefore you are Yahweh, the God of Israel, or you're not divine and you're everything else. That's not how divinity was seen in the ancient world. Amongst the Greco-Roman world, even amongst Jews, divinity was a spectrum with the supreme God at the very top of the echelon of divinity. But archangels are also seen as divine. Angels are seen as divine. Spirits in general are divine. Like, for example, Samuel is called Elohim in the Old Testament, but he's not God. He's just a divine spirit.
Okay, all I'm saying divine is I'm taking it to mean its definition, which is of, from, or like God, or a God.
Yeah.
Which
That's
Jesus
fine.
is all of
Jesus was from God and like God, but he's not Yahweh. The Archangel Michael is also of God and like God. I mean, his fucking name, Michael, literally means who is like God. Like angels are like God, but that doesn't make them Yahweh.
I love that they use John, but they never bring up the other parts of John where John is clearly saying that Jesus isn't God, because Jesus says that God is greater than him. So
Right,
like
Father.
it's either John's contradicting himself or he doesn't mean that.
Or Ashlyn is demonstrating she doesn't have an understanding of the Trinity.
Oh no! Oh well. First and foremost, even if Ashlyn didn't understand the Trinity, but which no one does because the Trinity is nonsense. No
I
one
was
can
going to say
understand it.
I don't understand illogical things. You are correct.
Yeah, and then also you don't need to understand the Trinity in order to read the Bible because the Trinity is a post-biblical philosophical innovation. No one needs to understand the Trinity in order to be able to read and understand the Bible. So, can you give us any
Can I ask
good
you a question
reason
real quick?
to consider Jesus as being either Messiah or God?
Yeah, I guess let me ask you a different question real quick so I can understand your thinking. Are you willing to engage in a hypothetical?
We'll see.
Okay. If there was an all-knowing, all-powerful God with a infinite mind, and he created a
Already
creation
on
with
rocky
a
soil. Because the God of the Bible isn't all powerful and all knowing.
I didn't say anything about the Bible.
But we're talking about the Bible. So why are we talking about a different? Why are we talking about this other God? Why aren't we talking about the God of the Bible?
I asked you if you could engage with a hypothetical. Is the answer no?
Well, but we're not talking about the God of the Bible anymore. I want to talk about the God of the Bible.
Okay, well, sure. Insert Bible into my hypothetical. That's fine.
Well, no, because the God of the Bible isn't those things that you described.
Okay, well, let's, in my hypothetical, say that the God
Can-
of the
can
Bible
I-
is all-knowing.
Can I ask Hutu a question?
Well, can I finish
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
hypothetical?
Ask him
or
a
no?
question.
Yeah, were the terms ousia and hypostasis Greek words that at the time of the writing of the Bible, were they synonyms or were they distinct words? Since I don't know anything about the Trinity or what Greek was used during this time period.
Yeah, so I don't know what those words mean, but if
I thought you knew everything about the Trinity, and these were Greek words used to establish the Trinity by the 3rd century.
When did I say I know
Or
anything
4th
about
century.
the Trinity? I just said you lack the understanding of basic concepts of the Trinity.
Well, obviously she doesn't.
But I have a question now.
Well, during this time period, when writing in the Bible, these would have been synonymous terms. It's not until after the 1st century specifically. So, and these would have been what we know as like essence and substance. Because this, what you don't understand is the Trinity wasn't a problem that needed to be solved during this time period because they already had a way to solve it, in which Dalton has already explained to you.
Yeah, so I don't care about your hypothetical God. I want to talk about the God of the Bible.
Gotcha. So is this conversation running away where in the middle of my question you pivot and ask your own?
Well, no, because
Like
because it's like in this conversation, I don't care about talking about Zeus. I don't care about talking about Quetzalcoatl. I don't care about talking about this hypothetical God you brought up. If we're going to ask the question about whether or not Jesus was God, we are going to talk about the God of the Bible. And the way you've described the deity that you're putting forward isn't the God of the Bible. God of the Bible is not all-knowing and all-powerful.
Okay, so that's wrong, but my question still remains.
Well, not wrong. Well, no, because I'm not going to engage with a non-biblical God.
Okay, well, if you're not willing to engage, then
What's the point of the hypothetical? That's, I think, what we're not understanding. What's the point of the hypothetical if it's not the God you're going to discuss?
The same exact point of when atheists like the Bible God asks me
The
if
Bible
God
God,
commanded
the Bible
me to-
God, the Bible
You've
God.
been upgraded.
asks
Yeah.
me
All hell, Duncan.
if God commanded me to unalive a baby, would I do it? The same point.
Yeah, but,
Well, that's
but
not-
the point is that's
That's not hypothetical. That's something that's well within the purview of something that Yahweh would do, and we see examples of this in the Hebrew Bible. When you mention an all-powerful, all-knowing God, that's not in the Bible. So it's completely like if you're going to say, could an all-knowing and all-powerful God do X, Y, and Z? Yes, he's all-powerful, but that's not the God we're talking about.
It is.
It's not. God doesn't even know, like, whether or not the people in Sodom and Gomorrah are really as evil as he has heard. The God of the Bible isn't all-powerful and all-knowing.
That's a great.
I'm not
pivot
gonna
from whether or
lie,
not
I've-
Jesus is God.
I'm
And that's
still
another-
cackling over the Freudian slip that happened between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so. hilarious, actually,
So
to say
why
that.
should I think Jesus is Yahweh specifically?
Okay, I'm going to say a couple statements. You say true or false after each one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh is God.
Yes, in the Bible, yes.
Okay, great. In the Bible, it says Jesus is God.
False. He's divine. Theos
so when it
doesn't.
says
The Greek word theos doesn't always. I've already said this 3 times. Maybe here. Take the earwax out of.
Let me ask
take
you
the.
this.
Take the earwax
Let me ask
out
you
of your.
this.
Take the earwax out of
Bring
your
this up.
ears. Take the earwax out of your ears and listen closely when I tell this to you, child. The Greek word theos can
Divine,
refer
which means
can
of God, like God.
can refer to God, capital G, or it can refer to divine beings in general, like angels or other gods. So when the
Or
Bible
God,
says
like the
that Jesus
definition said.
godlike isn't God. Godlike isn't God. Godlike is God-like.
God.
It's similar to God. That's why it says God-like. Like here means similar, not the same. When something is God-like, it's not God. It's just God-like.
I agree.
So no, Jesus is not called God in the Bible.
So I agree. God-like does not mean God. It's really, really good news, though, that part of the definition says a God.
A God.
Not just like.
Yeah, like Chemosh or Baal or Satan, apparently.
Like Yahweh. Like Yahweh.
That's one God. But does the Bible
It's
ever
hard
say
to
that
believe
Jesus
too.
but does
I
the
know.
Bible ever say that Jesus is that God?
Yes, and I'm going to show
No.
you where.
Show me
well,
where.
Actually, I'm going
Yeah.
to ask you a question and let you tell me.
Yeah.
What does the word became flesh mean?
Means that the angel called the Logos became human.
What is the angel called Logos?
That's the first angel. That's the very first thing in first century Jewish theology. The Logos is the first thing that God created, and through the the Logos was the instrument of His creation. It was the firstborn of all God's creation. It's the heavenly high priest, the image of God. It's a subordinate created being.
Dalton, this feels a lot like the 3 days and 3 nights conversation
So when it,
from yesterday.
when that being, you're calling it an angel, right? A divine being created by
Philo
God.
well, to be clear, the Jewish philosopher Philos called it an angel.
Do you ever let your guests
and
finish their thoughts?
also Paul called it an angel, but that's another thing altogether.
Bro, do you ever let your guests finish their thoughts?
If I had to correct them, if I don't have to correct what they're saying, yeah.
I just repeated what you said. So when that being became flesh, what was his name?
Jesus, Yeshua.
Okay, great. So that divine being, before it became flesh, right? Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say in John 1?
That it was divine.
The word was God, right? So that divine being was God.
Again, not the. It's like the information goes into his head and then immediately leaves. I'll say it again. Hopefully this time you'll actually fucking listen. The second instance of theos in John 1:1 doesn't refer to the God of Israel. It lacks the definite article. Notice that the first instance of theos, or theon in this case, in John 1:1, in arche, in hologos, in the beginning was the word, kai hologos in proston, theon, and the word was with the God, definite article, kai theos in hologos, and divine was the word. The second instance of theos doesn't have the definite article. It's not indicative of identity. It's indicative of the quality or nature of the thing. John 1:1 isn't a good argument in favor of Jesus being Yahweh, only for him being divine, in the same way that Satan is divine, or Michael is divine, or Gabriel is divine. Hopefully, you understood it this time.
That means not God. Just to simplify that for your understanding.
It's not God?
Right. I would also like to point out.
Wait, logos means not God, Ashlyn?
Jesus fuck. The logos is not God.
The second
take the dicks out of your ears, shove them in your mouth, and listen, okay?
The second use of theos, not God. It's qualitative.
Repeat back to me what Ashlyn just said, just so I can make sure you're actually listening.
Well, I'm not going to repeat the first part she said. It was unnecessary.
No, that was that was.
Do you
Lave.
not know who? You know,
Jesus.
women do have different voices. I know you don't speak to them that often.
I mean, my wife's a woman. I speak to her quite often.
What did
I am
Ashlyn
so sorry
say
for her?
Yeah. What did Ashlyn say about the logos? Repeat it back. Prove to us
She said
that you're
that
capable
theos
of
is
hearing.
the absence of God.
You know what, Hutu?
Didn't fucking say that.
Hey, hold on a sec. I think that like you don't even have to get caught up in the semantical debates about like John. Like to me, like you cannot make this case using Paul's writings or Mark, which was like the first of the Gospels. And you see that in like the evolution of the writings. A lot of these, a lot of the Gospels are like unapologetic, and they keep adding this Christology that wasn't like originally like with Mark, because they copy off of Mark directly. Are you aware of that?
They get longer.
Exactly.
I specifically, Hutu, said the second use of theos in John 1:1 was qualitative. And that is not a reference to God. I didn't say theos didn't mean God. Not what I fucking said.
You did actually. Yeah.
So can you make this theology work without using John?
Hutu, your listening comprehension and ability to process information is clearly that of a fifth grader. Because that is clearly not what I said.
So
I literally just repeated it to you twice.
Also, Johnny in the comment section saying, "Don't have to be rude. You're atheist. Be better. Don't you fucking don't tone police me. I'll talk however the fuck I want in my own live." Anyways, Hutu, Stop asking stupid questions that we've already answered for you 5 times. Give me some good reason to think Jesus is God.
Because John 1 says so.
No, it fucking doesn't. You jackass. How have you listened to any? No, it doesn't.
Hey, Dalton,
it
have you
doesn't say.
tried?
It doesn't say the word was God.
Dalton, have you tried? Have you tried nuh-uh
Right? Have you tried?
in your arguments? Nuh-uh.
Hutu, I will never not be baffled by your inability to hear new information and not be able to take it in. You are demonstrating for me and my entire audience that you are dishonest as fuck, or you're just stupid. Which one is it? Are you dishonest or are you stupid?
What's the third sentence in John 1? Does it say the word was God?
No. None of it says it. It does. None of it says Jesus was God.
I didn't say that. It said the word was God, and the word is Jesus.
If I may,
Oh, hold on a second. Like you're doing this, like you're getting this from Christian theology and Christian Bible translations. I mean, I get it that you've been taught this by the church. Like I used to be a Christian too. But here's the thing, like why we deconstruct it is just for reasons just like this. Like when we did scholarship and dug into the Greek and dug into everything, like this is why we kind of like deconstructed, because a lot of contradictions with like what Christians say is in the Bible and what they teach about the Bible.
So
and what's actually in the Bible.
I guess question about
it doesn't
Bible
match up.
translation. Y'all love the NRSV UE so much. So did those people with PhDs get the translation wrong because they say the word was God?
All the time on this live, constantly. I tell people all the time, while the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition is one of the better Bible translations, it is not free of error. And like any Christian translation, there is going to be dogma that colors the way of the translation. Lady of Heaven, you had something to say?
I was just going to ask who to. Let's set John 1:1 aside. What else do you
I
have?
still have a question about that. I have one more question.
Okay,
about
but
the Bible guy.
I wanted to speak on this topic. I took a lecture from a scholar on this course who talked on the Christology of Jesus, Dan McQuillan, and he starts off his lecture by saying in most cases he would use the NRSV UE, but then there are several cases within even the Christology where in John 1 is an example of him disagreeing with the translation. And in fact, there are several points. I talk about the term marriage not being a Hebrew word in the Bible all the time, but it gets translated as such. So no, we don't agree with all the translations because the best rendering of the text is that in its original language. And we've given you a supported argument on the original Greek, or at least the oldest manuscripts we have, I should say, on why we don't believe this is the case. And the only argument you have is, well, have you considered nuh-uh?
No, I never said that. I'm just considering that you're trying to say that the Bible guy got it wrong and the scholars with PhDs got it.
Didn't fucking say that.
Reverse. I think you mean reverse.
The scholars agree with us. Even my Greek grammar book, which I have on the shelf over here, even agrees with what I'm saying.
The word was God?
Not all translations say that, but again,
Wait, so the scholars who wrote the NRSV got it wrong.
Shut up.
Right?
Oh my fucking God. Dan McQuillan. Dan McQuillan literally has a lecture that I just referenced to you where he disagrees with this rendition. A scholar who speaks Greek, who studies this for his fucking job,
okay,
who got a PhD.
Okay, so
we're all a little bit fired up. I'm primarily the one who's doing it. Let's all just bring it down for a second. Hutu.
Hey, I've been down. You guys can laugh at my monogenes joke. Good. Like, what the heck? Like that was a good one. I didn't even get any drums or nothing.
Hutu, you need to stop being an idiot, and you need to start listening to what we're saying. The Bible guy is not the one who invented the idea that John 1:1c doesn't mean and the word was God. I didn't innovate this idea. I didn't come up with it. I'm citing the scholarship on this point. Is the new there is no such thing as a perfect translation of the Bible, because when Bible translations get made, believers who are the primary translators of Bible translations come to these translations with theological biases, which means that even if a translation is really good, this means that sometimes those dogmas and traditions can color the way the Bible gets translated. But I'm not the one who came up with the idea that theos, the second instance of theos in John 1:1, doesn't refer to the nature, about the identity of God, but rather the quality of the logos. I'm not the one who invented that. I'm just citing the scholarship on this point. Do you have any actual Greek grammarians that you could point to and a citation from them that goes to the contrary? I can open up to you my Greek grammar book right now and find the page in question. Now you can respond.
Okay, I still just want an answer to my simple question. I keep asking and then get
Shut up.
interrupted or
No, you can respond. You can respond to what I just said. You can respond to what I just said.
Your pivot?
Nope, not a pivot.
I don't do pivots. I have conversations.
I don't do. It's not a pivot. Don't be a coward. Don't be a coward. Don't be a coward. Respond to what I just said. I didn't say all that for you to ignore me. You will respond to what I said. Listen, I've had it up to here with your inability to listen to what's being said and to respond properly to it. I'm giving you one chance and only one more chance to be a good interlocutor, to listen to what's said, and to respond to what's said. If you cannot do that, I will drop you with no hesitation whatsoever. So, respond to the last thing that I said.
Okay. You have little man syndrome.
Wow. Little man
Okay.
syndrome. Nice.
Well, hey,
Oh.
that's the first time I've ever heard a Christian call me a little man. They mostly call me a big man. So, I'll take it.
I think
didn't-
out of anything you'd rather have is the ability to listen.
I
By the
think
way,
he
the
just
reason,
equated you with like Napoleon too. That's like, I don't know if that's like,
Yeah, I'm not a large person, but Dalton's not a little man. I just want to say that he's not. I've met him in person.
anyways,
Yeah, I'm talking about his size, guys.
Yeah,
his
Intellect, Ashlyn.
his intellectual size.
yeah,
and-
his size, Ashland. We got you.
enough glazing. Enough glazing. Anyways, the reason why Hutu couldn't actually respond to what I said is because he wasn't actually listening. That's fine. Oh well. His loss.
Dalton is Dalton sized.
All right. We're going to bring up Rob DG. I believe we've spoken with Rob in the past, but just so I can get a reminder, Rob, I'm going to ask you 4 preliminary questions. Question number 1, are you at least 18 years old?
Yes.
Question number 2, are you a Bible believer?
Nope.
And then skip question 3 because you're not a Bible believer. What pronouns do you prefer to go by?
He, him.
All right. Rob,
Yeah, and
he, him.
I've been on this. I've been on this before, so.
Yeah, I figured so. I talked to a lot of people, so I forget. So, and also I'm just fuming right now. So, Rob, welcome back to the Bible Guy show. What brings you up, bud?
Yeah, earlier you guys were talking about with one of the other guests, and you asked him about the passage that says that if a woman is SA'd, then she has to marry the perpetrator.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if we could go through that and talk about some of the bad faith apologetics that people do for it. Like in that, I think it's in Deuteronomy 22.
I, for one, am going to go grab a Dr. Pepper, so I'm going to allow the women of the panel to discuss this with you. So ladies,
Okay.
the floor is yours. I'll be right back.
Do y'all want to take it?
You can go, Ashlyn. You have been on fire tonight.
Thank you. I'll pull it up.
Sure. I think Deuteronomy 22, because this is the same passage where
It is 22.
with the woman who's not a virgin,
It's
and
sex
like
crimes.
Yeah,
so I
that's
think
22:13.
I think this chapter takes the cake for probably the most misogynistic chapter in the whole Bible.
Oh, it's awful.
Although there's probably some close seconds, but I think this one's probably the worst.
So what questions do you have like about it?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I'm just like, because some people will try to argue that like, so I don't know if they bring up the King James and they go to like
Oh my
verse
God.
28, and like let's say the person's a King James only person or something, they'll try to argue that where it says lay hold on,
Yeah, then
that
I
like
make fun of them for being a King James only
that's
person.
not actually, because so this is the argument they'll make, right? So they'll say lay hold on is not talking about force, because earlier in the passage where it says, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
I believe it's to seize.
And so they'll argue that it's using different terms. And so in the verse earlier, it explicitly says force, whereas in the later verse, it only says lay hold on. So they'll
You're
argue
exactly
that
right.
like, oh, this is just talking about like
Ashlyn.
fornication or whatever.
No, the word seized that's where
Yes.
they're gonna get caught up. And that's where you're gonna have
Yeah.
these like little like circular debates about the word seized. But the context, like in that passage, it's definitely refers
Yeah,
to.
I would argue if they're being honest about the context.
Because we're talking about
basically,
like them actually being like sexually raped, correct?
Yeah, but they'll try to argue that
That it's not actually rape.
that verse 28 is like a consensual thing.
Oh, like
That
they
it
just
is
like
consensual?
had they just had sexual relations outside of wedlock,
Yeah, and
wedlock
it's just
type
like
thing.
a shotgun wedding.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Wouldn't that be
Yeah,
the
no.
wouldn't that
No,
be the
no, no, no.
previous verse? That
In 28
No,
that?
it's
20
it's definitely rape.
28, yeah, says if a man meets a virgin who is not engaged and seizes her and lies with her, that is actually
That is rape.
what the
Yeah.
what the Hebrew actually translates to. What's the word for seize again, Dalton? I forgot the.
It's the word.
I want to see the same. Go ahead.
Yeah, lekak. I don't know why I forgot that
Wait,
one.
wait,
They
wait,
get lekaked.
Lechach.
Yeah.
I'm just looking here. So there's
that's horrible.
three there's kind of like a situation tree. And it's like there's I'm just looking. Where does it is
20
it 20 if a
28
man
says-
found lying with a woman married to a husband, and they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman.
That's earlier in 25.
Yeah,
Starting
you're
in
in
20,
25.
22,
there's
they
like
start
three
talking about the
different,
sex crimes.
There's like three different scenarios. One is like
Are you saying the
the,
verbs are different?
No,
I'm
it's the
saying-
same.
So in some translation,
it's all
even though
seizes.
It's clearly a sex crime in all three. Some translations use different words, which I think the translators have like kind of put in there to basically smooth it over. So the one verse that everybody agrees is clearly
I would-
talking about a sex crime.
25 is seize and 28 is seize.
Yeah.
Here.
So the King
I would
James
also point
uses the
out
term
in
force.
in Second Samuel, the same word is used like in the King James version. I want to say like
Yeah.
for
I'm just wondering, like in the underlying Hebrew, is it the same
Yeah.
verb for all three?
Which verse?
Because like I'm
20,
yeah. So
25
20,
and-
we're in
Sorry.
Deuteronomy 22.
Deuteronomy 22, 25, and 28.
yeah, it's 22 through 28. And the
All right,
first
let's-
one is like, oh, they're in a field, but no one hears them and they both get put to death. Then the next one is like, she's in the city. Oh, no, sorry. They're in the field and nobody hears them, so only the guy dies. And then the other one is like, they're in the city and she doesn't scream loud enough, so they're both put to death. And then the third one is like if she's not betrothed. So the first two scenarios are if she is betrothed. And then the third one's like if she's not betrothed, the situation doesn't matter, and she's forced to marry him anyways.
The first word used here for when it says that he forces her, the hey chazik ba. The word chazik here is from like the root word chazak, meaning like strength, but it's like it's a word that implies like a forceful sort of interaction between the two of them. So that is the first one. There is a word that is used to describe forceful interaction. Then the next verse, which is going to be what? There is
28.
Okay,
I think it's 23 actually. Oh wait.
It starts in 23. With the scenario I was talking about starts in 23, but I don't think 23 has the same language.
Yeah, it doesn't have it translated.
So the 23 the 23 is talking about what would seem to be a
oh yeah, tapas.
Them both agreeing. Yeah.
The word used here is vetepasa, which is again it is a word which means basically like to seize. Like for example, if you're going throughout your house, you see your keys, you're running out the door, you seize them. That's the word that's being used here. Tapas is the Hebrew word there,
and that's the one where it later goes to say because she cried not, and she must be put to death.
She cried not, which is a really crazy standard because, well, what if her mouth gets covered, or there's any number of things. If a guy says to her, "You cry out and I'll hurt you," it's a horrible standard. Luckily for us, never forget everyone that while as horrible as the Torah was, it was never actually used as a formal law code in ancient Israel. Thank God.
Right.
But yeah, these are all.
So the next one is 25.
25.
I know. I mean,
25
there's
is the
no like
one-
anthropological evidence of that ever happening.
25 is the one that
that's the
most
word.
apologists will clearly say means rape. But so they'll say that, and when they say this is the one they'll say, oh no, the Bible doesn't say that. The Bible says the rapist must be put to death, and they'll quote this, but then they'll say that 28 is not referring to rape. So the question is, does 25 use a different term? Okay, but does 25 use a different term than the other two instances?
Yes, it uses different words here. It uses the root word chazak, which is the root word which means like strength. And in this case, it's meant to imply force, like a force. And tapas, however, is just another word. This is not necessarily that they have different meanings. One here is just an adjective to describe, describe the strength of the taking, while the other one is just the word that means to take something.
Right. So neither really imply consent.
No, neither of them. They're both used for rape. Yeah.
Okay.
But 23 is different, correct? Because it doesn't say to seize, it just says to lie, or whatever the Hebrew equivalent was. I believe is what Ashland was saying.
Yeah, I thought 23 was different.
Verse 23.
Does a man find her in the city and lie with her?
That's one where they're both stoned.
Let's look at the Brown Driver's Briggs. Yeah, it just means to lie down.
Yeah,
The word
23
seize isn't there at all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 23 isn't, but 25 and 28 are. As far as when I've looked into it, it seems like that is actually like the language, though, I would say implies that it's like when you say that she didn't cry. Yeah, she didn't cry for help in the town because he had violated. Like, I don't know a time where I've like cried for help while having sex that like that's the kind of so that's the kind of the argument that I have there. And then the other two are like the Hebrew language seems to imply that. I don't always remember the Hebrew because I'm not the Bible guy.
in 28 where where it later ends up the punishment is that he has to give to the father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. In that one, it says that she's not betrothed. And if you think that, like if someone were to say that only 25 is talking about force, then why would you need different scenarios for like if she's betrothed or not, right? So it doesn't,
Because it's the property is the problem.
So it's like the whole context of why there's like 3 different scenarios is that the 3 different scenarios are talking about like, okay, is she betrothed or not betrothed? Okay, is she betrothed? Was it in the city or not in the city?
It's addressing
So
it's addressing who needs to be paid restitution for the property crime. That's what it's addressing. Who
Someone took her took her
where
what do you
if
call
it
it?
was
Her worth.
where if any of them were like, if it was concerned about consent, then it wouldn't need to go into all these scenarios about like if she's betrothed or not, right?
Yeah. It's about who the property crime is against.
And I'm even reading further back in 24, like you were saying about the virgin meeting a man in town and not yelling out. It does have the same word, violate, that it has in 29 when it talks about her having to marry her rapist. So I'm just saying, even though it doesn't say seize, it still says that he humbled or violated her.
Yeah.
Right.
I do think the violation though is against the man in this case. I do believe.
Or against the father.
Yeah, the man or the father. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, in this
Like, I
in
definitely-
23,
I
she was
also do think-
engaged, so it was against the
Yeah.
engagement. Or actually, I don't know, because if
I
they're
do
not
think
married
that like
yet,
certain English translations, like both the King James and certain modern translations, do try to like smooth over, like especially like in 28, like the King James would just say lay hold on, versus in the earlier verse it says force. It's like, well, neither verse really implies consent, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even in the King James, is not
It
very
seems
good.
like the translators are definitely trying to like, make it like more politically correct, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. But hey, thank you for your question. I think that was a really good question, and I'm glad that the ladies got a chance to cover that, because women's topic should be covered by a woman, I think, in this instance. But hey,
Covering the most misogynistic chapter in the Bible.
yeah, whole books could be written on the topic, and they have been. But hey, Rob, thank you for coming up. You have a wonderful day, bud.
Yep. Thanks.
just FYI, Data Over Dogma has an entire episode on this. If you'd like to go watch it.
Dan
I don't know if you've
McClellan
seen
also
it.
did a video on it.
Yeah, but I mean, they have a whole like podcast episode that's like an hour long, like
Yeah, that's
specifically about this.
That's Dan McClellan's
That's Dan
podcast. For anyone who doesn't know, Data Over Dogma is the name of Dan McClellan's podcast. All right,
Yeah.
have a good day, Rob.
Whole episode on it. A pink and blue shark, Sarah, would like to come up and ask you a question as well.
Yeah. She can come up. I just wanted to wait for the last guest to leave. Although I did answer her already in the comments.
Oh, okay. I was like, where'd she go? Okay.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, so that is my understanding as well. So I've been trying to look into this because some other person came up on my live today and was like, I speak Hebrew and it means spiritual death, and you can see this in the Psalms and how it's used in the Psalms. And I was like, okay, I don't really know how to verify this because I don't speak Hebrew. I don't know what death means in these instances. So I went to a chat program to ask it, to try to get more references and figure things out. And it gave me this idea, saying that in 1 Kings 2, it mentions a similar thing where it says, on that day, you're as good as you'll die. And it means like you're as good as dead. Basically, the exegetic being like, it's like a king's decree that like you're dead to me sort of thing.
Are you talking about?
I don't know why it would mean this, but
Mot to mot, yeah. I'll get to that section. I'll get to that section in a second. But the exact Hebrew here, word for word in the text, is Ume'etz, and from the tree Hada'at, of the knowledge, Tov, of good, Ra, and evil. Lo, you shall not tokal, eat from mimanu, from it. He bayom, for in the day, oklecha, you eat mimanu, from it. Mot tamot, you will die. Dying, you will die. The same sort of phrase is used elsewhere. For example, in Exodus, when Pharaoh says to Moses that the next time you see my face, you will die. He says the same exact thing. The passage you're referring to is found, and it's a reference to Solomon telling an individual that you cannot leave the city, and if you leave the city, the day you do it, you're going to die. And the man leaves the city, and he returns, and immediately, as soon as he is seen by the guards, he is executed. So it is immediate. The only difference is that because Solomon isn't a deity, he has to wait for Shimei to return, as opposed to Yahweh, who could on the spot simply just kill Adam and Eve. The only reason
and purposes, Solomon could have done that on that day.
On the day, yeah. The only reason Yahweh doesn't is for one of two reasons: either Yahweh changed his mind, or he was just lying. Both are acceptable understandings of the text.
That was how I understood it. And then some Christian came up and said, did they speak Hebrew? And then I went to look at the passage they were talking about in Psalms, and it says death, but I'm like, I don't know how this might mean anything different than physical death, because my understanding is that everyone went to Sheol. I don't even remember now. I'd have to look it up again. Do you remember
what was said in the sentence? I can probably find it.
The only thing I remember is I looked it up on that Hebrew translation website, and it had a capital D, but I don't know. So it did seem like there was possibly something different about that, but it said death. It said death will come or something.
Oh, it's
probably
about
just death coming.
Oh, it's probably just at that point. It's probably just personifying death as like a. If anything, it could, if it's capital D, I'd have to look at the Hebrew, but if it's the Hebrew word mot, it's either it's probably just that death is either being personified, or the psalmist is referring to Mot, who is the god of death in the Canaanite religion, and Mot will come for you. I'd have to see for myself what the text is. You'll see.
So the god of death is the word that Hebrews use for death?
Yeah,
not just the Hebrews, but the Canaanites in general refer to the god of
the Canaanites.
Yeah, the god of death is called Death. His name is Mot. Like the god of the seas is called Yam, seas.
I always say
That's a moot point.
Think moat.
A moat point.
The point is moat.
God.
Yes, it's a moat point.
Moat.
Is it Psalm? Was it Psalm?
That's where they have a demoten.
What is it? Psalm 55 verse 15. Let death come deceitfully upon them. Let them go down alive to Sheol.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
If it is, I mean, if it's anything like that,
argument.
if anything, it's just the psalmist wishing death upon his enemies and either invoking Mot himself or just invoking Mot, like death will come to them. Like it doesn't refer to spiritual death. It's like the psalmist wishing that his enemies would actually die, literally physically, not spiritually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't. Did the Old Testament or any of the works like actually really think of like a spiritual death? What is this? I saw some things that the GPT thing was trying to tell me, or was telling me that like some of the later Jewish writings talked about some of these things. They just sound exactly like the Christian things. I don't have any idea if it's true.
I'll give you the.
I hate AI, but I just don't know how to. I don't know how to research this yet well enough.
I'll give you the download, and then I'll give you a source to go read on the topic. The download is that in the for the most part in the Hebrew Bible, death is the finality of all things. You die, and your soul, regardless of whether or not you're good or evil, everyone goes to the same exact place, Sheol, the underworld. Sometimes, however, Sheol is just a word used for the grave, and some authors of the Bible believe that death is like literally the end of all things. Like no consciousness, no afterlife, just death is the end. The only time really that you get the concept of a life after life that's pleasant in any manner is going to be in the book of Daniel, chapter 12, where we're introduced to the concept of the resurrection of the dead. And in this case, there are some who are resurrected to life and some who are resurrected to everlasting shame and contempt. What that exactly means, it's kind of ambiguous. Like, are they brought back to life and then they're just shamed? Or are they brought back to life and they are suffering forever? It's kind of ambiguous, which is why in first century Judaism, the Judaism of Jesus' day, there wasn't a consensus among Jews as to how the afterlife functioned. The book I would suggest on this topic for anyone who wants more information is Heaven and Hell, A History of the Afterlife by Bart Ehrman.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that sounds accessible. That's a weird word to use, I guess, but I know of him, and so it's like I know I'd be able to understand what he says.
Yeah, it's a good book. It taught me some new things I didn't know, and so I love learning new things. So it's a good book.
Okay, excellent. Thanks so much for your time, and I appreciate you helping me clear this up.
Happy to help, Sarah. You have a wonderful day, bud.
Bye, Sarah.
All right.
I was gonna, but no, Sarah. Okay, well, Sarah, say something in the comment section because I want to tell everyone to follow you because you also do atheist content.
Lives.
Exactly. Bye, Sarah.
Sarah,
It's like a
comment.
late night stand-up
There we
thing.
go.
It's great.
Follow a pink and blue shark. Sarah has awesome lives, and you should go check them out.
All right. I'm gonna read some super chats. Let me take a look and see if I got anyone. No one in the YouTube. So just TikTok people right now. So let's take a look at the super chats.
At Sir Gamelot with the $4.99. Any good books to read about the Logos, Philo, and the theology of Greek and Jewish theology in the first centuries?
Yeah, I do actually have a book recommendation for you already on hand. It's called Philo of Alexandria, a biography, an intellectual biography by Maren R. Nienhoff. She's not Christian. She's a Jewish historian, so you don't have to worry about getting any of that like Christian dogmatic presuppositions filled in there. So this would be a good introduction on the topic of Philo of Alexandria. And then on top of that, read Philo's works. Lots of his works are available for free to read online. Or you can just get like a complete compendium of his works. I got access to it on Logos Bible Software, for example. Irony, Logos Bible Software. His works are they're not very extensive, so you can read pretty much all of them within like a couple weeks, probably.
Is that the free one that you got, or the one? Is that a part of the book series that I donated to you?
Part of the book series that you donated to me, absolutely.
Glad you're making use of it, though.
Hell yeah.
Couldn't think of a better person to give it to.
At Resistance with the $5 Australian.
Good day, mate.
Jude could open a cinema with that much projection.
Of course, referring to Hutu. Absolutely. Could open up a cinema with that much projection is so valid. And such a good phrase. I love seeing that. That's so funny. And then
at R.D. Barron with the $10 unsolicited tip.
Normally we don't do unsolicited tips, but in this case, it's appropriate.
When someone calls in solely to troll like the previous guests, do not react at all. Drop them and continue on. They want a reaction of any kind, so simply don't give them one.
I agree. Listen, I'm a man. I get emotional just like every other man. I'm better than most, but fuck, I hate idiots and racists. How was church today, Dalton? Didn't go. I don't know why you keep asking me that, Matt. I haven't been to church in God knows how long. Every week you ask me that, though. I don't go to church. I slept in today. The only time I worship is in the bedroom. Let's
That's such a
see.
good song.
And that looks like the end of the super chats and the end of any guests that we have today. Lots of good clippable moments today. Let me check something real quick. Ugh. And I think that's going to be it for me today, guys. Kind of slow start to the day. Hopefully Tuesday will be better. That's when I'll be going live next. But let's take a look and see who is live right now on the TikTok.
Sometimes I'm having a bad day.
Okay.
Oh, and another plug for my I'm going live with Justin tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
Woohoo!
So everyone, make sure you're checking out the Deconstruction Zone tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time to check out Elizabeth's interview with Justin. I'm going to be off that day, so I'm going to watch it too. But let's see who is live right
Earlier,
now.
Mama Bash had God on trial for the Grape of Mary. I don't know if she's still doing that.
I don't see her here, but I do see Daniel Green is live right now. Daniel Green is live. So everyone, I'm going to give YouTube Punk a moment to take a look at Daniel Green's live and send out the bat signal for Daniel Green's live. So until then, I'm going to just do a quick Bible study with you guys. Let's take a look. Let's see, what should we do a study on today? Let's see. Ooh. So, I guess I'll bring up a friend since we're ending the live. I'll just go ahead and bring up Chapter. Hello, Chapter.
Oh yeah, Michael Wiseman is also live, and Mama Bash is also live.
Oh, I've already
Just
sent
FYI.
it. I've already sent YouTube Punk on the mission to
I can
find
hear you
Daniel
okay?
Green. Hey,
Hang on, I gotta fix
Chapter.
my sound. Whoa.
Hey, bud, what's up? Chapter?
Chapter, you're muted.
Yes, can
There
you
you
hear
go.
me now?
Yes.
Oh, I can't hear you. Give me 30 seconds to sort out the audio problem.
All right, bud. Let's take a look. John.
It's a great face.
Because we've spoken about it so much today, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a quick lesson on John 1:1, a quick breakdown.
Okay, this sucks. I had to get rid of my headset. I hope I'm
No.
coming out clearly.
Oh, she was responding to what
Can you
I was
hear me
saying.
right?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's fine, bud.
Not
Can you
you,
hear us?
Chapter. Yeah, that was
Not John 1:1? Yeah.
No, we've just it's been a little much with John 1:1 today.
Yeah, it's been overdone. It's a double donkey beaten, a lot. Yeah. I just wanted to say, yeah, I watched Mama Bash's live. I thought that was entertaining, but I think she's finished now. I do recommend Daniel Green for sure. Michael Wiseman is always entertaining. He does very quick and fast discussions. He gives them 3 strikes or they're out. But yeah, Daniel's apparently doing a full day live today, sponsored by donations, which is great. And Pink and Blue Shark, I heard a lot of good things, but this is the first time I've seen them on a live. So I followed them, and I recommend, as other people have said, do follow Pink and Blue Shark. Sarah, is it?
Yeah, Sarah doesn't give herself enough credit on how much she knows.
Yeah, I mean, she wanted a deep dive into the Hebrew, and I think that was good. I tried to give a response too, but of course, Dalton's was better because he can really deconstruct the language. But I also Thinker is learning Hebrew. Dr. Joshua Bolt been here as well, and Bash and Mama Bash's lives. And yeah, I started getting interested in the course, and I bought his new book as well. And I'm only a few pages in. I really recommend it.
Whose book are you reading right now?
Oh, Dr. Joshua Bowen's. He wrote a new book on biblical Hebrew.
Oh, fantastic! I'll have to get a copy of that.
That man's always
Yeah.
writing.
I can definitely text you, and it's great to see him on lives. I don't know if you know, there's a host named Me.
Me?
That's it. That's their name. Me. I think that's their name. Not Mister. That's someone else. But Me.
Not to be confused with me from Doctor Who.
Oh no, not that one. Not that one. Well, yes, my favorite is Matt Smith as well.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. If we're going for new Who, if we're going for old Who, oh, that's a tough one. Oh no, I can't differentiate. There's so many good ones. But yeah, Dr. Joshua Bowen, I saw him on Me's Live. Me's Live is getting some good clicks, and it might be good to get in contact with them. And in like the co-hosts are really good. I mean, one of them was a Christian for 50 years and has a lot of knowledge as well. I mean, and it's great to see Dr. B jump on those lives as well.
Absolutely.
Godwin, Don't Blink. Don't Blink. A wonderful episode for sure.
Don't Blink is one of my favorites actually from that season of Doctor Who. Now,
what did you think about that one where they went? I'll be very short. What did you think of the one where they went on a vacation and went out in some sort of travel through these crystal canyons, and there was this thing that started knocking on the ship?
The bottle episode, and yeah, that's also one of my favorites too because of the suspense, and it never gets really resolved, but it's like a suspense horror, and it's really good.
It was so simple. There was only a few characters in one room, which was the ship, and the suspense was excellent.
Every show has episodes like that. There's an episode of Friends, for example, where the entire episode is in the apartment, no cuts. It's just one long shot. These are these are called bottle episodes, and the purpose of them is that, well, we need to save money, but also we need to make an episode, so we write out these like episodes like this. So that's the purpose of that episode, but it's one of the best. It's so good, so much suspense.
So simple, so much suspense. As you said, a bottle episode. It's compartmentalized, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'm going to go watch Mercy with my wife. That's next.
All right. You have a fun chapter. Good seeing you.
Thanks for
Thank you so
coming up.
much.
I always love
Thanks, Ashland.
hearing from
I love
you.
hearing you too. You are all winners, seriously. And your humor, the ears and the cocks.
That was me. Yeah, getting lecocked. Yeah.
Lecocked.
You and I sound alike, Ashland. So you know.
Yeah. Twinning. You're twinning for sure.
Do it? I don't know.
No, we don't. Not at all.
Okay.
No.
Me and Ashland sound quite a bit alike, I think.
Oh my god.
Oh god, I hate that.
Okay. Yes.
Just one of the girls. That's all.
Dalton, you are one of the girls, though. You are one of the girls.
That sounds so precise. Okay, back to the Greek lesson.
Okay, yeah, see you, bud. All right, so
thank you so much.
John 1:1 has 3 clauses, and we call it John 1:1a, John 1:1b, and John 1:1c. The first clause is the word "en," which "en" means "in," like in English. And then we have the word arche. Arche, it means beginning. And it's actually the root word for when we say archaic. If something's really old, it's archaic. So in arche is in the beginning. And then in here, with eta, new, means was. And then here we have ho logos. It's not just logos, it's ho logos. Ho here is the definite article, the word. Remember that remember that when we go through that, the usage of the definite article. So B is Kai and ho logos. Again, usage of the definite article. The word. In, which again means was. Pros, well, it was with. And then we have ton theon. Which is made up of two words, being ton, which again is the definite article, means the, and theon, which is a form of the word theos. It means God. It's not just in the beginning was the word and the word was with God. It's in the beginning the word was with the God. And throughout the New Testament, and not just the New Testament, but even other works, like again, the works of Philo of Alexandria, or even the early church fathers, whenever we are talking about the God of Israel, Yahweh, they refer to God as ton theon or ho theos, the God. Even in John 3:16, where for God so loved the world, God there is ho theos, the God. So again, usage of the definite article. Finally, the what's really in question is the third clause here of John 1:1c. Kai, meaning and, theos, which is the word in question. Theos means the word which means God or divine. But notice what's lacking in this sentence. What's lacking right here? That there is no definite article.
There's no definite article there.
Yeah, the word theos is indefinite. Like a God, for example. Or in this case, I'll tell you in a second what it means. In ho logos, and was the word, and theos was the word. The question is, what does it mean for the word to be theos? In this case, because of the lack of the definite article, most scholars would say that, well, the usage of the word theos here, it's not indicating identity, or else the author of John would have said kai ho theos in ho logos. He would have said, and the God was the word. That's how you would say that Jesus was the God of Israel. But instead he says, and theos was the word. Theos here is qualitative. It's describing the quality or the nature of what the logos is. And as we've shown here several times, the word theos has a wider semantic range than just referring to the God of Israel. It can be used to refer to divine beings like other deities or angels, God, Satan. Even in the New Testament, Satan, I think it's 1 Corinthians 4:4, is referred to as the God of this world, using the Greek word theos. Satan is called a theos. So the logos in the works of Philo of Alexandria is called deuteros theos, the second God. So theos here just refers to the fact that the word was divine. So in the beginning was the word, and the word was with the God, and divine was the word. This is the best way of translating John 1:1 from Greek into English. So there's your lesson of the day. Not Hebrew lesson, but a Greek lesson. All right, and everyone, remember that. Remember to make sure you follow Lathe of Heaven, Redheaded Trouble, and Ashland, and that you all go out to Daniel Green, tell him that the Bible guy sent you. And remember, I've been the Bible guy. Remember to keep reading, keep learning, and we'll see you all again Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.
Born from dust and questioning fire, wielding truth like a sword of desire. Ancient scrolls and cosmic flame, he tears through myth, he breaks the chain. Echoes of prophets, the scars align, knowledge and thunder intertwine. Reason ascends where blind faith fell. He reads the word and he reads it well. The Bible guy, seeker of the light. Through time and fire he rides the night with reason. The world shall hear the Bible guide. Scrolls of ages, words of flame. He dares to question